3 coplanar points, and bam, there's the radius of the Earth.
On the level.
The way I phrase it is a monument to the curvature of the Earth. It really is.
Level.
It really is.
Level.
And bam, there's the radius of the Earth.
My field of study is more like theology, and I'm actually studying in university English currently, becoming a translator.
Okay, so it's a linguistic sort of thing. It's not really
humanities, yes.
Yeah. Cool.
Oh, just curious, Lauri, because I'm reading through some of your messages with the back and forth between you and Blood's Vicar. What side of the debate are you standing? 'Cause
I'm a Glober, fair and square.
Ah, okay, yeah, that makes sense then. Yeah, I was reading your messages and thinking you came across as one. Yeah, okay, that's cool. Clears things up.
Yeah, I just felt like he was kind of taking unfair jabs at me just to get triggering and get stuff going. So
you were trying to trigger him as well, weren't you?
Yeah, I mean,
well, it depends on the context, but sure.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, right? When you're on the wrong side of the debate, you're going to be thinking that people are attacking you when they're pointing out that you're wrong and the errors in your, your logic. So I can kind of understand why you're as defensive of your model as you are. Perfectly understandable.
Okay, so let me ask, and I'm not trying to have a triggering conversation here, but did you see any point in what he was saying, or do you think that he was being sensible?
I'm still going through because there's quite a lot to read. I've only read a few back and forth.
Sure, I think the key part was just very at the beginning, because he was asking me about the if I believe in the globe model, and my philosophy is basically that there are justified beliefs and unjustified beliefs, both the flat Earth and the globe, technically speaking, fall in my philosophy under beliefs, but one of those is justified and fits with reality, and the other one is.
Yeah, I'll stop you there, right? I'm just going to say this up front. Beliefs are complete bullshit. I don't go with beliefs. I'd rather go with knowledge, because knowledge is significantly greater than belief. So if you can prove something you know, it's awesome, but if you're talking about beliefs, I don't give a shit.
Sure, but technically speaking, knowledge is also a subset of belief in philosophy.
No, sorry. No.
Well, if you're gonna say no, can you justify that statement in some way?
Right, belief is reliant upon having no tangible proof, right? It's reliant on faith, right? There's no proof for belief, it's just faith in something. Whereas knowledge is the exact opposite to that. Knowledge is something tangible that is real. It doesn't require faith. So it's vastly different. I wouldn't argue with the same in any way, shape or form.
Sure.
There's also experience within the definition too.
Yeah. I guess you're going with sort of the layman version, or the layman common language use of the term, but in philosophy it's actually a bit different. So in philosophy, because we use language differently in different contexts, in philosophy it's like I said, there's justified belief, which technically speaking, if I'm to make very fast a case for that, I have a cup here on my table, and of course the existence of the cup doesn't depend on me like seeing it or anything. But then when I perceive it, I come into the room, I see the cup, it exists then in my head. And that's a cognition. That's something that exists in my brain. Of course, that maps into the concrete physical reality. So of course there is similarity between what I see, what I perceive, and I believe it's a statement of my vision of reality that there is a cup there. But of course, I can sometimes in those kind of statements mistaken. So that's why it's important to make a distinction.
Lauri, it's just a fucking cup, dude. If there's a cup in front of you, there's a cup in front of you. There's no need to go on about it for fucking ages.
Sure. Like of course, in the case of the cup, it's very very simple.
Lauri, can I stop you back for a sec? Right? Can we move away from the monologues and move towards the dialogues? Because those are far more.
Sure. No problem.
Those are far more productive. Monologues, it just bores the shit out of me, especially when you're talking about a cop. I don't give a shit about cops. And if we're talking about reality, let's talk about reality. All right? Move away from the hypothetical, talk about the real.
Okay. So what's real in your opinion? Or
real is stuff that's tangible. You know what real is when I say real. We don't need to explain what real is. We know what real is. So we don't need to be talking about what is and what isn't real. Okay?
So let's then let me sort of cut to that chase then. Is, for example, is flat Earth, would you say that it's a belief you hold, or it's an opinion you hold, or it's reality? Or can it be a combination?
Okay, can I address your point? Firstly, it's not flat, right? Because flat is lacking of a third component, like the Z component, right? So you'll have the X and Y for your coordinates on a flat. So flat basically it lacks elevation. And we know that Earth has topography, right? You know, hills, valleys, mountains, streams, etc. Therefore, not flat. So it isn't flat, and therefore, obviously, I don't believe that it's flat because it isn't. Flat Earth is a misnomer.
But if we account for the topography, would you then state that it's a flat plane with topography or something like that?
No, it's not flat. Just drop the word flat because there's no flat there. It's got topography. It goes against flat. Therefore, not flat. Drop the use of the word flat. Earth is not flat. It's not a spinning ball, but it's not flat.
Sure. So let's kind of take a different stab at it then. Let's take the question similarly, but let's say, since you said that it's not a spinning ball, would you say that that's reality, or it's your opinion, or it's your belief, or it's a combination of those?
Right. So if we're talking about a spinning ball, we'll have to talk about, you know, what proofs do we have? Well, and I'm putting this in air quotes here, right? So the proofs of a spinning water ball are images provided by NASA, and those images are dubious at best. And then, I mean, beyond that, what else do you really have? Everything else is just claims of satellites in space. Those are just claims. No one's been there to prove that. You can't verify that they're real. All you have are claims that those things are up there. Therefore, what proof do you really have that you live on a spinning water ball? And the answer to that is you don't have any. That's the reality.
Well, you kind of, sort of, from my point of view, you hand-waved a ton of evidence.
Let's address what you think the hand wave is. Okay, let's address that hand wave that you claim. So what
first of all, you mentioned the photos in space, right?
Let's be clear on language here, right? Photographs are images are not the same as photographs. We don't have any photographs from space. All we have are images. They are not photographs. Please use.
So what's the difference between images and photographs in your?
Right, a photograph is something you use a camera to take a picture of, right? Whereas an image is an image. It can be created. It can be created. It's fabricated. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's real, and it definitely isn't a photograph. A photograph can be an image, however, but I mean, you know, when you get to the nuances, then you know, images aren't necessarily photographs. They can be fabricated, and all of the space stuff is just CGI and cartoons.
All right. So in a debate, because you kind of made a claim there that all the images are CGI and cartoons and not photographs. So technically, in a debate, that would then put the onus on you to kind of back up that claim. So
no, not really. Not really. It just means that we have to then move towards the more tangible proofs and disregard any images and photographs or whatever you want to call them.
Yes. But if you're gonna say that the images are all fake, there is actually onus on you to prove.
Okay. How would you prove or verify that they were real images? Let's put it that way. How would you verify their authenticity?
The question was actually
That's the question. So answer, please.
No, it's not, because you actually heard the question. The question was, it's on you to prove that they are fake, because that was the claim that you made.
No, you can't prove a falsehood.
Yeah, exactly.
Just please, just answer
Alright,
his question. How have you verified
no,
them,
but
Lauri?
I asked him the
Lauri.
question.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, Lauri, answer my question, because answering mine also in turn answers yours. So please do that for me. Please.
Yeah. So you actually say that you cannot then prove that they are fake. That's
No, he didn't say
the
that.
point is then on me.
Lauri.
I think the point then remains to me.
Lauri, listen, don't put words in
I'm
my
listening. There's no problem here.
mouth. Don't put words in my mouth and just answer the question you've been asked, please.
So the question is, how would I verify that they are not fake, right?
How have you
verify your
verified?
authenticity? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sure. So, well, what one can do is, for example, take, and this has been done, so you can take photo manipulation.
Lauri, just a minute.
manipulation tools.
What we like to do here is we like to speak from reality, right? We don't like people
All right,
to
but
say...
you're
Wait,
gonna be
Lauri,
rude
let me
and you're-
finish,
you're-
please.
you're-
Lauri,
you're gonna-
Lauri,
Yeah, but
please.
you were
Lauri,
talking over me.
please,
That's rude.
let me finish.
Sure.
What we like to do here is speak reality. We like people
Yep.
to be able to prove what they say, right?
Sure.
Okay, so can you prove, or to us, how did you verify for yourself? We know that you can't give us your proof, right, for these things. We know that.
You know, that's again a positive claim because you said that you know. So you actually have the onus is on you to prove that you know that.
I know
right?
that we over here like to give each other actual proofs of something. Right,
Sure.
okay.
So,
So-
let's get back
So
to
nobody
how
has
you
ever
actually
give us a
falsified-
proof for a picture.
Yeah.
So how
So
did
it
you
was
how
again-
did you
yeah.
prove your pictures?
Yeah. Let me get back to how you kind of wiggled your way out of proving that they are fake,
sorry,
because that's
Lauri.
actually a positive claim, right?
Lauri, you're still
I see
wriggling
somebody-
out of answering the
one person
question
wiggling right now.
that's been put to you.
But the onus is actually on you to prove that.
Laurie,
they
I
are
would
fake.
never bring a picture that I hadn't taken that came from my camera
Yeah,
because
but
I
that's-
couldn't
yeah.
verify it. So I wouldn't bring it
Yeah.
or cite it. Now, neither
let's say-
would
okay.
Plague. I know that for a fact.
Sure.
We are asking you, please, can you tell us how you verified these pictures that you are citing? That's it. Just how
Sure.
did you do
So
that?
you said you would never bring pictures that you haven't yourself verified. So let me ask, is this actually the case? Are you actually being consistent with this? Because I have been presented the black swan photograph as an evidence.
Not by
From the flat earth
me.
side.
Not by me.
All right,
realize
all right.
that you're-
Not by
So
anyone
let me
here.
ask them-
Not
let
by
me ask
anyone
them,
here, Laurie.
Would you tell your fellow flat earthers not to
I
present the black
would.
swan
Yes,
evidence?
I definitely would. Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right, now,
All right,
can we
so-
get back to
so
the
now we are-
pictures? How
Sure.
did you verify the pictures that you cite?
I don't actually bring pictures either. So
Okay.
I don't actually even need to do that.
So you
But
just bring theories?
It's actually no. Saying that I don't because you said that you don't bring pictures
So
either. So
I don't
can
want to
also say
interrupt
that
what you
you
were,
just
Laurie.
have
I
theories
don't want to
because
interrupt
you
what
just said
what you were
don't
doing
bring
with
theories.
Plague, right? And I don't want you to get interrupted. We was just trying to moderate the point that you've obfuscated as many times as
but
we've asked it.
You were trying to say that I only bring theories. I just said that I don't bring photos.
Okay,
And you
all right,
said also
okay,
that you don't bring
okay.
photos, so I
Okay,
can
back-
say that you only bring theories. It's
back-
fair, right?
No, I can bring you videos and
There
pictures
you
that
go.
I've taken. Right, that's all I will bring you is stuff that I've verified for myself, and I will bring you the proof of what I talk about every time. Plague will do the same. Everyone in this server will do exactly that.
Sure.
Now,
Sure, no problem
okay,
with that.
now
No
I'm
problem
going to
with
hand
that.
you
So what
back
kind of
over to
pictures
Plague
would
because
you
I'm
have?
doing something, right? Carry on with
Oh, yeah.
Plague, please.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Right, cheers. So yeah, I mean, did you want to continue with your images of space as a kind of?
No, I actually don't use images from space. Mostly I think that there is no good reason because again, like I said, that the onus is on the party that claims that they are fake, because you cannot just dismiss evidence by saying it's fake, and then I don't need to prove anything. Like I could say, to Bev's all evidence that it's fake.
That's just
and then it's not up to me. Like I can just deny evidence, and I shouldn't be proving anything.
It's just circular reasoning on your part. I mean, you'll say that I'm going to claim those images are fake, and then you'll say that the onus is on me to prove that they're fake, which is to prove a falsehood.
Oh, obviously.
Let me finish. The onus is actually on you because you would be then claiming that they are real, right? So then the onus would be on you to prove that they were real. And then the question would be, how would you prove and verify their authenticity? And the answer to that is that you cannot. Because A, you've not been to space, and B, you have to rely on everything that you have been told about space. So which negates any kind of claim of proof or verification of authenticity that you could potentially claim to have.
Well, that's actually poor logic on your part, because not having been to space doesn't mean that it's fake. So it's just a poor logic on your part.
How would you verify the authenticity of the pictures?
I don't need to verify. The onus is on you to verify that it's fake, because it's your claim that it's fake.
Circular logic.
Can I ask a question? A really quick question? Maybe clarify the logic behind this? Can I ask a question?
Yep.
Yeah, go for it, maybe.
Lauri, which is a positive claim, that the pictures from space are real, or that they are not believed to be real?
Both can be positive claims.
Which one? Where one has to happen first, right? Do pictures from space happen before they're not believed, or do pictures from space happen
let me ask.
not believed?
It could be both. So, for example, if I bring you a picture of my grandmother, and you say, "Oh, that's a fake picture," that's actually a positive claim, because you are stating a fact that it's fake.
Are you bringing a picture of something that you can verify, or are you bringing a picture of something that you cannot verify, that I am questioning the veracity of it?
Yeah. Technically speaking, it kind of goes both ways, because people are actually very, very mistaken on both sides on this issue. So it's not easy to always like it's not always on one side. So both sides in this question actually have some onus. So it's actually onus is on me partly to provide evidence that the pictures are authentic, if I claim that they are. But the onus is also on you to provide evidence that they are fake if you claim that they are fake.
So let me ask
and actually we can apply the same kind of logic.
Let me just see if you're consistent with your logic then.
Sure.
If I brought to you a picture of, say, Santa Claus, is the onus on you to prove that Santa Claus is not real?
Actually, in that case, because there is other good evidence, there is very strong evidence from other sources. So of course other sources also come into the play. Yeah.
It's the same case. It's the same situation.
Well,
logically,
yes.
Logically breaking it down, is the onus on you to prove that Santa Claus is not real, or is the onus on me to prove that Santa Claus is real, if I am the one asserting that the picture of Santa Claus is a picture of a real Santa Claus?
Well, then that takes us to the place where if you can prove that the situation is comparable to Santa Claus, you have a case there. So can you prove that the situation is comparable to Santa Claus?
That the East... Sorry, I didn't catch what you said.
You sort of compared the globe, and flat earthers often do that. They compare the globe.
I'm just asking you about Santa Claus to see if your logic is consistent. I don't really care about the pictures from space or anything like that. You're saying that the onus is on the person who says that they don't believe that the pictures are real. So I'm asking you if that logic is consistent in another scenario where something that is not real is brought to you. Is it your responsibility to show that it's not real?
In cases like this, there, like I said already, I kind of answered this question already. The sort of evidence that kind of surrounds the pictures also comes into play. So we should
Like
look
what
at the
evidence?
other. Yeah. Example, we all know that Santa Claus cannot plausibly be real, right? Like
Well,
we
hold
can
on a
do
second.
calculations.
Dude, how did we get talking about Santa Claus? Right
Well, he
here?
brought up the
what?
pictures from
You can
Santa
tell
Claus.
you were in here, Laurie.
I brought up the pictures from Santa Claus.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, like, Laurie, if you weren't here, we wouldn't be talking about Santa Claus, right?
Well,
you realise
then
the
it's
depths of the conversations led to us to be talking about Santa Claus with you, and some sort of an argument going on.
That's a very good point. That's a very good point, Bev. So I'm going to take the fall for what Mobius brings up. So maybe the problem is how you treat.
No, he was
Globbers,
comparing your logic to the space.
If you say that it's a stupid point, then it's Mobius's fault.
No,
I didn't bring it up, you fucking
dude,
moron.
He was comparing.
I'm not going to take the fall. And by the way, it was a very good point. It was a good point.
Yes,
so
it was a very good point. He was just comparing your logic with the space.
I'm not going to take blame for someone bringing something up.
There's no blame.
Oh, yeah. Look in the mirror, Bev. You are deluded if you think that you are not pushing blame on me for something that I didn't do. You are saying I'm being ridiculous because someone else brought up Santa Claus.
I think
you are being a cultist, Bev.
You're a bit of
being a cultist. You should stop doing
here, Laurie. You watch out. Right?
Laurie,
you sure this is the place?
You're very defensive.
Triggered.
Well, you guys raised your voice. That's not you being triggered. It's only when I raise my voice that's being triggered.
You never shut up, Laurie.
Well, yeah.
Right.
It's a two-sided discussion, right? And there are plenty of you.
Yeah. Well,
he was allowed the room to speak.
Trying to sort your logical problem
This is already. I'm seeing the kind of Nathan Oakley sort of. Yeah, let the other guy speak type of thing happening.
Who's muted you?
This is the most calm room I've ever been in.
You are shouting over me for things that have nothing to do with me. You are blaming me for someone else brought up Santa Claus. Bev. That's pathetic. That's pathetic.
Were we talking about Santa Claus, Laurie?
Yeah, and did I bring it up?
I brought up
Mobius.
I get it. I really
have a shout at Mobius.
I really get it.
It's his problem.
Yes, I really get it, Laurie.
Yeah,
and really
you should be ashamed of your behavior.
Will you let me finish, Laurie?
Go ahead.
Okay.
You should apologize, by the way.
Okay, Laurie. When I was saying about bringing Santa Claus up, it was a logical. Mobius was checking your logic, right? Which led you to believe that the Santa Claus didn't need defending, right? Because there was other proof. So you think it's fine to use logic to say pictures from space are fine, but then you don't think it's fine to think that you have to disprove a picture of Santa Claus for the exactly the same reason. It's a flip.
Sure. So
do you see that flip?
So what's the problem with that?
What the problem that you have two opposing ideas.
Can you make a
one of a
argument
picture
for why
that
that's
you can't prove either picture is real or false. Can you?
That's your religious belief. So Bev.
So you can't prove either picture is real or false. Can you then? Okay. Brilliant.
I already justified. Did I say that we need to consider the other evidence surrounding the case, both for the Santa Claus and for the globe? So we look at other evidence surrounding the case. For the Santa Claus, the other evidence already says that Santa Claus is ridiculous. But the other evidence surrounding the pictures from space above the globe. If you want to contest that, then please make a case for your fucking flat earth cultist.
So which evidence?
You have the floor.
Which evidence are you putting forward for either case, please?
Well, for one, there is no good flat earth model on the table. Flat Earth has been on the losing side.
No, Mobius was talking about Santa Claus.
Argument.
Yeah, I think if you were to ask any child,
have anything to
ask any child, Laurie.
The globe is stronger than Santa Claus. If
ask
you want to
any
Santa
child.
Santa Claus is the flat Earth.
Ask any
so you
child.
are asking me
Lauri,
to believe in Santa Claus
I'm not
when
asking
you are
you to
bringing
believe
up
anything.
the flat Earth.
Lauri,
so
you sound.
Prove your Santa Claus flat Earth.
Lauri,
oh my God, why are
Lauri,
you
he
so
showed you a
triggered?
picture.
Definitely a glober, Lauri, aren't you?
Lauri, he has showed you a picture. That is evidence enough from what you say.
What picture?
Of Santa Claus.
What picture have
Surely
I been presented from the Santa Claus flat Earth model, Brian? Bring me the black swan. Bring me one of Bev's photographs. Bring me something. Bring me evidence.
What are you talking about Santa Claus, Lauri?
Shit.
Lauri, do you think Santa Claus is the flat
Your
Earth?
flat Earth model is the Santa Claus.
Lauri, please.
You guys have been losing
flat
this
Earth
for 5
model?
fucking years.
Lauri, what are you talking about? We just do reality
your
here.
What
are you
your
talking about?
Not reality. I'm talking about reality.
Hey, can I just say something?
Holy
Nobody
shit.
in this room. I've been in these rooms for days and sit and listen, and we never talk about the stuff you're talking about, ever.
I know, because
Nathan
you guys
Oakley's server, and we're not Nathan Oakley's server. Everybody in here gets along. We talk about stuff, and you're
yeah. And I saw that yesterday. Yeah. I saw that yesterday. We had a good conversation. I just have a problem when Bev tries to pin on me the fact that someone else brings up Santa Claus. To me, that's pathetic.
Yeah, but they're trying to point out your flawed logic. And
so what is the flawed logic here?
They're trying to point that out, and you've obfuscated every point.
All right, so I'm actually going to give you the let's say some doubt, and I'm going to stay silent and see if you can show what is the logical point here.
It wasn't. Mobius was trying to point out your flawed logic, and we went sidetracked.
So what's the flawed logic? You have the floor, so you can explain the flawed logic.
I'm trying to point out that you need to listen to Mobius because he was trying to point it out.
Yeah, we were having a good discussion with Mobius. There was no problem. Bev just said his ego got hurt or something, and he wanted to shout over it.
No,
like I would rather read it. I would rather return back to Mobius and talk with him.
That's all I'm saying. Yeah, carry on.
Listen to his tactics.
What are my tactics, Brian?
I know what you're up to, mate. I know exactly what you're up to.
Yeah, I know what I'm up to as well. I'm standing up for the truth. What are you doing, Brian?
What truth?
Yeah, the truth.
What is the truth?
You don't know what the truth is. You wouldn't be asking me that if you knew what the truth is.
No, what is your
me
truth?
To tell
then?
you what the
you
truth
believe
is.
To be true.
He won't have an answer, Brian.
Reality. The globe reality, Brian.
Globe reality. Good. Okay. Yes. Show us curvature.
It has been shown, you moron.
Show us. Go on.
Show us your reality.
Shown. Who's
Why
it been
did
shown
you
by?
deny it for the past 5 years?
Show me your reality.
It has been shown.
You show it.
It already has been shown.
Show me your reality.
You are in denial, Brian.
I'm not in denial.
Yes, you are.
Show me.
You are getting shouty and angry every time you
Just a minute, Brian. Lauri, who showed it?
Who showed it?
Yeah.
For example, soundly. First of all, with his photographs, and second of all with the GPS test that he did.
Lauri,
there is no counter-argument that you guys have ever provided.
Lauri, please. Soundly, right? We've been over that many times. It's a load of tosh. It's been proved fake. Absolutely.
So if you claim it has been proved fake, can you enlighten me how it has been proved fake?
Jesse Kozlowski drove his car over that bridge with GPS data logging. He found it was 5.8, 5.7 because it was only 10 centimeters, right, accurate per each one. So you call it about 5.8 meters above the surface of the water across that bridge.
You cannot be this stupid You cannot be this stupid. Elevation is not the same thing as curvature. It showed curvature on the 3D coordinates, and you're focusing on elevation because you don't understand that elevation is different from curvature on the globe model.
I'm out of here.
This shows that you do not understand what the GPS is. Your debunking of the GPS argument was
just
totally
show us what the difference between elevation and curvature is then. Go on.
Elevation is, for example, mountains and valleys and hills, the kind of things that
measured vertical distance difference.
And the thing
where's your curvature?
Did you look at
where
the GPS coordinates?
Your curvature
in Soundly's GPS coordinates.
No, Soundly didn't have any GPS coordinates. Soundly did not. Soundly did not.
And don't curvature as well.
Lauri, don't say Soundly had GPS coordinates. He didn't. He doesn't know what a GPS coordinate is. Wouldn't know if it hit him in the face. It was Jesse Kozlowski. Right, that did Soundly's.
So Jesse Kozlowski had GPS coordinates. Thank you. So there were GPS coordinates, and they showed.
Like, they showed 5.8 meters above the water level.
Yeah,
right.
And the GPS coordinates, apart from the elevation, which should stay the same on the globe model, the GPS coordinates showed the curvature. You're talking about elevation because you cannot address the GPS coordinates, Bev.
The GPS coordinates were 5.8 meters above the water level. Right? Now, Lauri! They showed 5.8 meters above the water level. Yes. Right. Now, Lauri! The elevation, right? Is it curvature or is it not curvature?
Elevation is not curvature.
Okay, right. So it's a straight line then. Brilliant. There's no curvature. There's no curvature in elevation. Brilliant.
Jumping to conclusions. You are being dishonest.
You've just said
it showed. No, I didn't.
Is there curvature? Is there curvature? Is there curvature in elevation, Lauri?
That's a different question. You said, is curvature elevation? Curvature is not the same thing as elevation.
Right. Is there any curvature in elevation then, Lauri?
Well, it kind of depends.
If you have a zero elevation change, Lauri, is that a curve or is it a straight line? What? Come on.
That's not curve. But the GPS coordinates show a curve in a different
So there's no curve in elevation then, right?
That's like asking, is my cat's food dog food? You're asking stupid questions.
No, I'm saying
the GPS elevation is a different thing, and then there's curvature of the Earth, and the 3D coordinates showed curvature. They didn't show elevation because the water level itself was curving.
Who showed you?
The bridge was curving.
Who showed you that? Who showed you the curvature?
Jesse Kozlowski and Soundly, have you not researched this, you fucking monk?
Of course I have. I've really researched it.
Oh yeah, so why
to a point that you don't even understand.
Why are you so mistaken about what
I'm not mistaken about it at all. It's you. It's you.
No, you are
confusing mistaken. You are massively. No, you're.
Predators all the time say there is terrain is not.
Your cog dis is terrible, Lauri. You're really struggling. You're melting. Don't worry about it though. We'll help you through it. Right? Elevation. Do you want to know how to measure an elevation change?
So you want to go now away from Soundly because I defeated you on this.
You have not defeated us. Soundly.
Oh yes, I did.
Soundly.
I did defeat you.
Right,
Lauri. Elevation.
Lauri. We're recording this now, right? And I'll tell you, I will say this. I will say this right now, Lauri. If you shut up, right? Listen, Soundly has run away. He's gone. He's not gonna come back and help you. The same goes for Jesse Kozlowski. Yeah, because they've said things that aren't real.
That's a stupid point. It's a stupid point.
It's not.
Do you really know why they went away? I can tell you.
Go on then.
Soundly went away because he knew that the GPS measurement is as good as proof of a globe as anyone can get. It's 100 proof fucking solid, and you cannot debunk it. So there's no need for him to stay in this movement because the proof is there. It's only up to can you accept it or will you stay in denial, Bev? The ball is in your court.
Okay, well, I have proved that the water level is horizontal,
The
Lauri.
question is, will you stay in denial?
Why?
I demand an answer.
Why
yes
are
or no.
you doing this, Lauri? Lauri, why are you doing this?
Because you guys have been in denial for 5 years.
You've come into this server,
fucking boring.
and you're just over talking. You're doing the fundy muting in this server, Lauri. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yet you act like a moron,
Lauri,
and you bring
you want
other
to
people
know?
bring up Santa Claus, and you bring that up on me. So that
Lauri,
shows that you are dishonest. As
Lauri,
well, Don't act like you have the high.
Are you one of the better ones, or are you?
Of course, I am one of the better ones, and compared to any of you, I'm better than any of you.
Right? Do you know how to debate calmly?
Sure.
Okay.
No problem with that.
Okay. Let's start again then. Right, with this. Do you have any practical experience with surveying?
No.
Okay.
I wouldn't say that I have.
Do you have any practical experience with any GPS surveying?
No, wouldn't say that I have.
Okay. Now, do you have any experience in geometry?
Geometry, well, I know it from school, but your question was practical experience, so I would have to say no.
Okay, right. So, do you understand what a level point is? Like in that you can draw a straight line between 2 points. Do you understand that?
Sure.
Right. Okay.
Straight line is not the same as level.
Now there is a bridge, right, that Jesse says he has drove over with a GPS system, right? It's Lake Pontchartrain Bridge, and it's 23.7 miles long. Okay?
Sure.
So from one point at one end of the bridge to the other point at the other end of the bridge, that's 2 points. You would agree? Sure. Yeah. Now, if we draw a straight line from that one point of the bridge to the other point of the bridge, that's a straight line, right? If we were doing a drawing. Now, the bit in the middle of that bridge, of that line, from the two level points at each end of the bridge, would you say the middle point is on the same level as the two end points?
It depends on the model, wouldn't it? But if we use the globe model, which is
just in reality, we don't use models here.
In reality, okay. In reality, it's a fucking globe, man.
Okay, so you would go with what Jesse said on that thing, where there is a 28.5 meter hump of water in the middle, right, of those two level points. Now, do you know any physics? Like,
why?
Do you know any physics?
I do know physics. Okay. I do know physics, but I have to ask you a question.
Do you
said
know
that there is a hump?
Yeah.
But we were talking about reality, so are you saying that the hump is reality then? Because
Jesse,
we were talking
Jesse
about
Kozlowski
reality, right?
showed you a hump in the middle of the water. You
Yes.
said it's a globe.
So the hump
I
is
asked
reality
you.
then,
I
right?
asked you,
Because you
Lauri.
said-
Lauri, I asked you. Do you think they are on the same level line? And you said, what did you say?
It's a fucking globe, man.
Yeah, okay, right. So you go with the model that Jesse gave you in that thing that has a hump in the middle of those two level lines, right, from that straight line that we just drew of 28.5 meters, right?
Sure.
Okay. Now, in physics or reality, right? Reality. Do you know the cavitation point of water?
Not really. So you have free roam to make your point.
Right. Do you know the way pressure changes are stated within water? Within the water, the hydrostatics. You know about head of pressure.
We can sort of.
You know about that.
I think we can sort of skip along, and you're going to say that water kind of seeks its level, right? And it shouldn't stick with the hump.
No. I was just saying, the cavitation point of water is what I'm talking. I'm not talking about the water level. I'm talking about the cavitation point of water.
Can you define cavitation point for me?
Is when water becomes under such a negative pressure state that it cavitates. Sure. You may know it as a process called boiling, but it's actually cavitating. Where I don't know what your explanation of what science has told you of what happens to water when it cavitates.
Sure.
Okay. Do you want to just go over your bit before I've just got to sort some food out for me tea, but I'll be back in a minute.
I don't really have a bit at this point. Like you are bringing up concepts that I don't know.
Oh, you've never heard of the cavitation point of water? Do you want to go and have a look, see if you can find it? We've got an old school question. I'll get it. You can.
Yeah, this is interesting to me, but because I'm trying to gauge if you're going to make a point about, this guy doesn't know, so he's a moron or something.
No. Why would I do that? We don't do that here, Lauri. There's loads of things that people.
Some flat earthers do. So
we don't
because you are asking questions about.
That's not what we're trying to do.
That's not his point. I can vouch for Bev. He's not doing the gotcha with you. He's trying to show you something.
No problem. That's why I said it's interesting to see where this is leading.
Yeah, I don't know where that. Oh, there it is. Right, I'm gonna have to just sort me food out, or she'll be killing me. Have a look.
I know something.
In the debate
for example,
discussion,
like
have a look at that, just to give you an idea.
I do know something about physics. Like I've had audible courses and so on about dark matter and stuff, but there are some concepts that I don't know, and I guess we do all.
This is reality.
Also, I didn't have to choose languages over physics and chemistry in high school, which is kind of why I'm lacking in the let's say the basic concepts and know a bit more about the advanced stuff, which of course would be a problem if you had to do physics in real life.
Yeah, he's just trying to show you something that we've learned. We've been studying and researching this stuff. It's not
sure.
It's not a gotcha at all. I mean, it's been a process for us.
Yeah, Lauri thinks flat earthers, which we aren't. Again, I'll have to say that to you. We just look at reality from a very critical point of view. We're about as real as it gets here.
I don't have a problem with critical, really.
So can you see the question?
Oh, sorry, I'm not following the chat at the moment.
In debate discussion.
Yeah, I was just idling somewhere else.
Right, given any water level of unlimited length, what is the maximum distance possible between the level BM and the point A? You see the way A is at a different position.
The picture is loading.
Okay.
Sure. So what's the answer, or is there a point to be made or something?
Well, there is an answer. What would you imagine the answer would be? So it's just like an old, this is a proper old.
I don't know what, roughly speaking, off the cuff, what the maximum distance possible between those points would be, but I would guess if we were talking about water level,
yeah,
I think the point A should kind of, if that's describing what, kind of come down and it shouldn't stay there, right?
Well, no, that's the tube of water. Right, the water level is established by the two end bits, right? You know how a water level works. You just put water in a tube and the water will equalize itself out at either end of that tube. Right, the water does it of its own accord and the water finds its own level. So there's just the water in the end of the tubes is 2 points.
Sure.
Right, and the tube that goes in between, right? Because what happens at the water level, right? Anything below that water level is an increase in pressure, right?
Sure.
Yeah, and anything above is a decrease in pressure, right? Yeah? It's just the opposite, right? As above, so below, right? One is a positive, the other one's a negative. That's if you want to call it pressure. But, I mean, is it a pressure? It's just a height difference, right, from that line. That's all it is. It's a vertical change from that line that's established by the water level. Negative, positive, right? Now, obviously, going down, there may be a different in pressure. What you want to call it, pressure? I don't know. What do you want to call it? I just call it a distance, right, away from the level of the water. But you may like to call it pressure. You may feel more comfortable by calling it pressure, right? So are you happy with me calling it pressure? Or would you just like me to call it what it is?
I'm just seeing where this goes, so
okay.
I'm just following along.
Right, okay. So as it goes up, it turns into a negative pressure, right? Because obviously if it goes down, more pressure, up, negative pressure. Now, what do you imagine happens to water at a negative pressure?
It should kind of equalize, right?
Should equalize the water.
Yep.
What have you seen happening to water in a vacuum? Right, because do you call that a pressure decrease? I mean, it's not really a vertical change.
Yeah, you can call that pressure change.
Right, so that would be a negative pressure, right? What happens to water in a vacuum?
I don't think pressure is a negative.
You don't think in a vacuum it turns into a negative pressure state, the water?
Like it does boil.
It cavitates, right?
Yep.
You call it boiling, but boiling is associated with temperature, isn't it? I would associate boiling, although the true word of the true meaning of the word boil is it's true. Sure. Yeah. So that is the true word.
That's actually how boiling is defined as in it happens at this pressure, it happens at that temperature, but at other pressures the boiling happens. So in physics it's just called boiling.
Yeah.
You might want to disagree with that, but it's called boiling.
No, that's what I say. It is boiling, right? It just happens with temperature, right? But that's what everybody considers as boiling. But it's just cavitation. Yeah? Cavitation with temperature. You can do cavitation with pressure, which is what we're talking about here.
It's
in
just
the water level.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. So in other words, it's just boiling because there is lower pressure.
Okay, right. So at some point, that water level will stop working because a cavitation occurs. Or do you not think cavitation would occur? I do. I've just told you, really, haven't I? I mean, the question would sort of suggest that there is a difference, right? There is something there that would tell you that pressure change has happened, right? And there is a distance. Would you like to hazard a guess? I'm
just waiting to see where this leads.
I'm just asking you. Because I don't want to be giving you the answer. I'd rather you go out and have a look. Otherwise, you're not going to believe anything. You need to find these answers for yourself. Otherwise, you will not believe a word of it. If it comes from me
there
or
is a
anyone
slight
here.
problem with that. There is a slight problem with that.
Is there?
If I go out and have a look and research this by myself, it turns out that you're full of shit and I won't believe in the flat Earth.
You can come back. I'm not saying this has got nothing to do with flat Earth.
Oh, so why are we talking about this?
Because this is reality. Do you not want to?
So flat Earth is not reality. Thank you. That's a good
Where
sign,
are you bringing flat Earth from?
Oh, so we are not.
Look, dude, we said at the beginning, like, flat is 2D. We don't live on a flat Earth. Plague said that right at the beginning, Lauri.
Yeah, Lauri,
please don't do that.
We established it. Right at the very beginning, we established this fact.
Yeah. That's a nice tactic that you have there, because you can always equate flat to terrain, and when anyone tries to pin you at your flat Earth beliefs, we are not flat Earthers because flat Earth is just terrain. The terrain isn't flat. We have mountains. That's a nice tactic.
Enough the monologues, Lauri.
Yeah, but Bev has been monologuing as well, so you should kind of suck it, right?
No, Lauri, just shut the fuck up and listen. Learn to use your ears and close your mouth. You don't learn when you're opening your mouth. You only learn when you listen. You don't learn very much.
All right, but Bev was talking and he wasn't listening, so he wasn't learning, right?
Well, you don't listen ever anyway, so you can shut the fuck up now and own your ears.
Triggered.
No, you're the one who's triggered. You should listen to yourself back when Bev uploads this to his channel in the next few days.
No. I'm just owning you. I'm owning you guys. I don't have any delusions as to you are being mistaken. Really? You are being horribly wrong, and you are cultists, and I'm not owning you guys. So can we move this discussion along, and let's see you guys prove your...
people to think for themselves. It's very cultural. He doesn't like the fucking globe believers and their retarded belief system.
Yeah, no swearing, please. So, Vake, or one of you guys, can
you
say
yourself,
what the
fucking retarded man?
No insults. This is a calm server. Let's keep it down, sir.
Well, stop being a retard, and I won't have to fucking insult you, will I, you dickhead?
Oh yeah, that's nice. That's I'm being oppressed. The cultists are attacking me.
Yes, I'm going to oppress the globe retarded cultists.
Get triggered, sir. So can we get back to the shape of the
Earth? Watch out, Plague. This is what he's after, right? He's after recording this, right? Whenever he does this.
I'm not recording this. You guys said that you are recording this. So babe, you are after recording.
Yeah,
you said that you are recording this, right?
I know. Yes. You act like this.
I'm not recording this. So if it's a problem, because that statement shows that you think it's somehow dishonest to record.
Ramble for a
you're
bit.
being the dishonest thing. So can we get this back to the shape of the Earth discussion? What do you guys say that the shape of the Earth is? Not a globe.
Lauri, if you want to go and talk about balls, fuck off.
I'm not talking about balls because I was asking what
Lauri,
if it's
Lauri, we do not talk about the shape of the Earth here. We don't give a
are you
shit.
Talking about here?
We're talking we were just talking about water level and pressure cavitation of water.
Oh, okay.
Just because you can't answer a question, don't get triggered. It's all right.
What question
don't worry.
didn't I answer? Like I've answered all
the
your
one
questions.
That you didn't answer. At what's the maximum distance between the level line BM and point A?
Triggered. So let me ask you, if this is not a discussion server about the shape of the Earth, why were you guys trying to say that I have to prove evidence for the globe and pictures from Earth? I need to verify that they are, if we are to take that seriously. Like that kind of, to me, suggests that we are talking about the shape of the Earth. So were you misleading me at some point, or are you now lying when you are saying that we are not talking about the shape of the Earth? Which one is it?
I thought we were talking about the
You were talking about the shape of the Earth, Lauri, and you were talking about elevation. Yeah, sure. You said that you knew what elevation was. It wasn't curvature. So we were getting confused. You were telling us the difference between elevation and curvature. You then got stuck when you had to find out that it isn't. It's a straight. You told us there's no curvature in any elevation.
Yeah.
It was recorded, Lauri.
It's recorded, and I'm owning your ass. So, who brought up the in this conversation, for example, pictures from space? Because I didn't.
You did.
No, I didn't. I don't bring up pictures from space. That's why I know what happened. I don't use that as evidence. No, I didn't. I was asked about pictures from space, and I dealt with it because I was asked. So why was I asked about pictures from space if this is not a discussion about the shape of the Earth? Like you are...
Lauri,
yeah,
stop now.
Go ahead. You have the floor. It's your server.
Do you want a discussion about the shape of the Earth? Is that what you want to come here with?
If you can handle that, yes.
Okay, brilliant. I will go with proving that water is level. What are you going to bring?
Soundly kind of proves the curvature, right? I already gave you that and you didn't debunk it, so it's still on the fucking table. Go ahead and disprove it if you can.
Do you know the cavitation point of water? We were getting there, weren't we? Nearly.
Oh, so how does that connect to Soundly? Because now we are talking about the shape of the Earth.
The cavitation point of water, according to that question, is a lot less than 28.5 meters. A lot less.
Oh, but that means, do you know what that means, Bev? That means that when you said that this cavitation issue that you were talking about, you said that it had nothing to do with the shape of the Earth, and now you are saying it connects to Soundly.
Doesn't have anything to do with the shape of the Earth. It just proves that Jesse and Soundly have lied to you. And you're willing to defend it now. Carry on.
And your definition is if you can show that Soundly lied to me, and if you can show that they lied to me, that has nothing to do with the shape of the Earth. Is this how dishonest you are? You are pretending that has nothing to do with the shape of the Earth. This is the level of your argument.
He was trying to show you something.
You
wanted
to bring that as your proof for the shape of your Earth.
Yeah, so it has to do with the shape of the Earth, you moron. And you are claiming it doesn't.
No, only to you. Right? You have got.
Why do you think then that it has nothing to do with the shape of the Earth?
The water being level. The water being level does not show the curvature. It's a horizontal.
Whoever says that water being level proves a curvature?
You?
No, that's a lie.
Okay, I've got. We did some logic, right? Okay.
We need some logic, but if you are
here we go then.
You are not going to bring. Go ahead, you have the floor.
If the Earth is a spherical object, P, then the surface of liquid water must curve, Q.
Yep. So what about the level?
A water level is a tool for establishing a horizontal plane. Oops. Not Q. Therefore, not P.
I'm sorry, Pep, but that argument was so stupid that I'm having trouble responding.
Do you want me to do it again? If the Earth is a spherical object, P, do you like that?
Yep, yeah.
Okay, then...
You should learn to like that as well, because it's the truth.
Then, the surface of liquid water must curve. Q. Good?
Yep. What is this silence? Like, Come on, man.
Okay, a water level is a tool for
you didn't make an argument, you fucking moron. You thought that was some kind of gotcha, but you didn't even finish your argument.
Do you not understand logic, Lauri? I'm sorry.
No, but
I feel sorry for you, dude. Don't worry. I'm going to go and have some food. I'm going to have to leave you guys with him if you want to have a go. I've got to have some food.
Yeah. So if you guys can finish his argument for...
Excuse me, Lauri. 2 seconds, mate. Mobius was trying to talk. I couldn't quite hear. Were you trying to say something, mate?
I was just wondering why Lauri's got to say stupid fucking moron, idiot, blah, 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 blah. Like, what's with the name calling? Why can't you just speak normally without trying to insult everybody that's talking to you?
Well, Bevy's being hostile. You didn't see me doing that with
you.
He
wasn't calling you any names or anything.
Yeah, but he's bringing stupid points at, and he's using dishonest tactics. For example,
trying to get to a point and asking you questions about the point that you're trying to establish.
Yeah, but he's being dishonest at everything, which is why...
How so?
Yeah, how so? For example, he says that if he debunks the soundly argument, that has nothing to do with the shape of the Earth. That's dishonest. Of course, that has to do with the shape of the Earth, so we all know that he's lying about that. Why would he lie about that? Why would he say, oh yeah, let me bring you on this some fucking ass argument and then lie that it has nothing to do with the shape of the Earth? This is a flat Earth fucking Discord. So why are you guys lying that it has nothing to do with the shape?
Did you say that Jesse Kozlowski proved curvature with that observation?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So you use that for an argument to say that proves curvature?
Yep.
Okay, well, Bev was trying to walk you through a series of thoughts and like stuff that we've learned to prove that they're lying, logically about that. They're lying about that. And you said you didn't know certain things about it, and now you've obfuscated every point when you conceded you didn't know about what he was trying to show you.
Well, he should have not lied then. Like, it's kind of easier to listen to someone's point when they are not lying and when they are making a point about the shape of the Earth, but then lying that it's not about the shape of the Earth. So if he can stop lying about it, I can listen. It's not a fucking problem to listen. It's just a problem when someone lies. I don't
Lauri,
like
the only
listening
thing
to
is that what people, well, not speaking for anyone here, just what I've seen in these conversations is the moment that you call someone a flat earther, you've already got them sussed out in your own mind, haven't you? So what happens when they're not a flat earther and they're just a normal, man who's just questioning things? What about that? You're allowed to do that?
I don't have a problem with that. Like, I like to...
Well, okay, so why are you trying to say that he's talking about the shape of the Earth when all he's doing is explaining to you about, like, a horizontal plane and how to establish it? I don't know what
this has to do with the shape of the Earth, right? Like, you guys can say that...
the shape of the Earth?
Like, you guys can say, well, it's fucking disproving the validity of globe Earth arguments, right? So it has to do with the shape of the Earth, right? That's just logical. Like, I understand why you guys might dislike the Monica Flat Earther and people calling her names and stuff like that. And I also understand that you might say, oh, I don't identify with being a Flat Earther. But saying that this discussion has nothing to do with the shape of the Earth is just thoroughly dishonest. So you can say that, oh, I don't use the name of Flat Earther for myself. That's fine. But saying that this has nothing to do with the shape of the Earth, of course it does. That's a lie.
As far as I'm concerned, it's a logical argument, and it doesn't matter. That's why I brought up the Santa Claus thing, because it doesn't matter what you're talking about. If your logic is inconsistent, then your logic is inconsistent. So
yes,
if you're saying that you believe something based on a certain criteria, but then you say that somebody else has the same criteria, but they can't believe what they believe because it doesn't align with what you believe, based on the same criteria, then that's an inconsistency in logic. It's a hypocrisy.
Sure, so, except in reality, it's always there is nuance. So, for example, if I bring you evidence of my grandmother, you wouldn't say that that's you shouldn't like. I can also point to you.
So,
there's inconsistency in your logic.
So earlier when Vague was asking you, Like what proved it to you, right? Like where's your proof that made you believe in what you believe? And I mean, I'm still waiting for an answer for that. Like, is it just because some guy on YouTube said so?
Oh, no. I kind of did 2 years. I came into Flat Earth 2015, did at least 2 years of actually kind of solid debunking of my own. So I went through all of the Flat Earth arguments, and I'm still going through Flat Earth arguments like the Black Swan. And to me, they just don't hold truth or don't hold for water. Of course, that doesn't necessitate that it's a globe. It doesn't prove the globe yet.
So
even
what
if
is
the
it
other
that
party
proves it
has
to
no
you?
arguments. Well, for example, the curvature shown by Soundly and the GPS experiments, which is why I brought that up. I wouldn't bring up pictures from space because they are, even though I could consider them evidence, they won't convince other people, and they are kind of unusable in this discussion.
So the GPS data from Soundly's video.
Yeah, the GPS
what does that tell you?
Yes.
What do you get out of the data?
It shows that like the 3D GPS coordinates do show curvature of both the water and the bridge, but because they curve at the same rate, the difference between them remains the same, which is why, of course, you don't get a difference in elevation.
Well,
so you don't get a difference in elevation, but you get a curvature.
So let me ask you, you saw pictures that they presented, and they said words to go along with those pictures that they presented. And that's what you got out of the data that they said that they collected?
Well, yeah, that's one part of it.
So what did you do with the data so that you can verify for yourself what they're saying on the YouTube video is accurate?
Well, I've looked at Soundly's pictures. I've looked at Flat Earth responses to that, and I've seen.
I thought we weren't talking about pictures. I thought we were talking about like logically deducing.
Well, sure, we can still stick to the GPS. So there has been no good evidence or no good response from Flat Earthers to that, and you guys would the good disproving arguments if you had them. So I think that's actually a good proof that the evidence is solid. Because
I'm not asking for evidence against anything. I'm asking for evidence for something. You're giving me something, and I'm asking you for evidence that supports what it is that you're giving me. You said that the Soundly video, they showed you a picture of a bridge with curving water, and they said that the data they collected matched that curvature, right?
Sure.
Well, the data that they collected was that the GPS registered 5.7 meters above the water level the entire way.
Sure.
So where are you getting the information is what I'm asking.
From the same data. So basically, like I said, the elevation showed no difference, but there was a curvature in the total data because the curvature, of course, like I said,
what did
the
you do
bridge
with the
is
data?
curving with the water.
What did you personally do with the data then? You must have done something with the data besides watch a video, right?
Yeah. So technically speaking, for example, if we approach this question from a scientific standpoint, the onus is not on each individual to do everything for themselves, but they can actually look at things what other people have done. And I'm going by that methodology.
So when you watch the Soundly video, is the onus on you to prove Soundly right, or is the onus on Soundly to prove Soundly right?
The onus is certainly not on me to prove Soundly right. What would be easier would be try to disprove him. And if you cannot disprove him, then maybe you have a solid reason to think that he's right.
Oh, now is that an argument from incredulity?
No.
If you don't know how to disprove him, how are you ever going to disprove him? What I want to know is why you believe him.
Yeah. No, it's not an argument from incredulity. Incredulity is I don't believe it. But what I'm talking about is I tried debunking it, but I couldn't.
Right. So you believe it. You don't believe it's not true. So it is an argument of incredulity. What I'm asking you is,
if you want to play word games like that, we can put everything as argument from incredulity, right?
Yeah, right.
Because,
that's what I'm saying.
Every
so
time you believe something, you don't believe something. So you are also not believing that the Earth is a globe, right? So do you have an argument from incredulity on your part?
Well, just to be clear, you're saying that you believe him because you weren't able to debunk him.
Yeah, that's one part. No one has been able to debunk.
How would you go about debunking
not just
him?
me, but hostile parties as well.
How would you go about? I don't care about anybody else. I'm asking you. How did you go about trying to debunk him?
Well, it actually should be about other people because, again, scientifically speaking, it's not just about what I can do. That's the genetic method of you have to do everything by yourself, but that's not how science works. And of course, if flat earthers want to go by other methods, that's fine. But science kind of has worked with this. We can rely on other people's data, and we do this collectively, sort of.
Sure. So just to be clear, you believe him because other people believe him also?
Oh no. It's because no one has been able to debunk him. It has nothing to do with beliefs. We have tried debunking him, and we were unable.
So you haven't tried
so maybe
debunking
it's
him because you didn't need to try to debunk him because other people believe him.
No, again, not.
That's what you just said. I'm just.
No. I didn't say. I said other people tried to debunk him and they failed. You try to switch that with belief, and that's not the same thing.
Well, you believe that he has solid evidence. You believe that other people have tried to debunk him.
Yep.
But what have you done personally to understand what would or would not be able to debunk him?
Well, I, for example, looked at Bev's argumentation and what you're also going for with the elevation thing. But of course, in the globe model, the elevation doesn't change because the water curves and the bridge curves. So actually, according to the globe model, you wouldn't see elevation change in the data, which is why it cannot be used. Yeah.
You said according to the globe model.
Sure. So what's the problem with that?
Well, you're according to the globe model, blah, blah, blah. It just totally defeats everything that you say afterwards. So
why does
according to the globe model, because you're using the globe model as your reference, as your premise.
Sure. So that's actually how
the globe
scientific
model in the first place.
Yeah. So that's how scientific thinking also works.
So you assume a premise before you establish the premise?
No. Do you know what a hypothesis is?
Yes.
So it's sort of like an assumption that this thing has to be true, or
it's
this
an
thing
assumption
could.
Based off other things that are true.
No. It's let's say it's a it's
like
an idea that you say this could be the case, right? So how would you go about testing an idea like that?
Like if I take a circle and I prove that a circle is a circle, and I take a straight line, I can assume my hypothesis is that straight line is not a circle, and I can go about demonstrating that based on the proof that I have for the circle, right?
Sure.
Does that make sense?
Sure.
So what I'm asking you is, according to the globe model, that saying those words, you've already like presumed, and I know that's like a trigger word for a lot of people, but it's true. It's a presumption that's already a fact. So I'm asking you,
no, it's not. Yeah.
Well, okay. So the data, the 5.7 meters above the water level for 27 miles. How can you say that according to the globe model, the water curves, therefore that elevation change is a curved elevation or a curved telemetry? How can you say that?
Can you try to keep that point into your mind, because I want to return to that, but I need to address this. So
sure.
The hypothesis is just you have an idea and then you go about testing it by saying what should be true if this happens. And that's, for example, what flat earthers kind of do with the black swan argument. if the globe is true,
what flat
this
earthers do,
this should happen.
Right.
Yeah.
You keep bringing that up also. Nobody here, I don't think, cares what flat earthers do or don't do or think or don't think.
Sure.
So when you say flat earthers blah blah blah, it's kind of like it goes in one ear and out the other. It doesn't matter to me, right? What I want to do is I want to establish what you are trying to say and how it is that you have verified what it is that you are trying to put forward as evidence or facts. And I'm trying to establish, I'm trying to establish the method that you used in order to establish those facts to yourself, so that I then can take that same step, those same steps, and establish those facts for myself. But every time you go into, well, flat earthers this and flat earthers that, it just kind of like it diminishes the conversation.
Oh, sure. I'll try to keep that in mind. It's sort of hard because I mostly run into guys. I mostly run into guys that, for example, bring up the black swan. It's such a big thing that it's too easy for me to go there and kind of use those terms. I'll try not to.
Well, nobody's attacking you here. Everybody here is really cool, level-headed.
Sure, and actually, I appreciate this conversation with you, Mobius. There's no problem here.
All right. Well, everybody else, I feel like I can speak for everybody else because I get along with everybody else here. Everybody's really chill, and there's no need to be super defensive about, what other people do on other servers and stuff, right?
Sure.
So you don't need to call people idiot, moron every other word, and you don't need, you know what I mean?
Well, it sort of depends from my part. It depends on the other person. So if I get attacked, of course, I'm gonna hold my own as well. But you're not attacking me, so I don't need to attack you.
All right, fair enough. So is there, again, with the data, right? The data tells us that the elevation was 5.7 meters above the water level, right? That's the data that Jesse Kozlowski collected, and that's what he presented. What about that 5.7 meters above the water level tells you that the water curves? Or do you get that information from somewhere else?
Yeah, it's not the elevation data, because again,
I mean, it's got those humps in the bridge, right? It's got those humps in the bridge, and but it's relatively. I mean, he also did say that he's got 10 centimeters of error, give or take, right?
Yeah. So what's the convincing argument for me is if you take the data points and you put them in a 3D program, it creates a curve. It creates a curve for both the water and the bridge, which is why there's no elevation change.
What program are you talking about?
I don't remember or I might not even know what program he used, but you can kind of any.
Are you talking about
3D
the video
program,
with Kozlowski? The program that Kozlowski developed?
No. I think what he might have done, and I should actually look this up. I think what he might have done is he would have put those points in one program, and then he would have also modeled them and kind of inputted them in his curvature calculator. Like it's just a simulator that he uses to compare reality to different models, right?
Do you know? So you don't know anything about the program that he developed, that he put the data into?
No, I know something about the program that he developed, but not too much necessarily.
Do you remember in the video? Because I remember very distinctly that he said that these are center of Earth coordinates.
Sure.
Now, how do you get a center of Earth before you've collected the data?
Earth-centered, Earth-fixed.
Earth-centered, yeah, Earth-centered, Earth-fixed coordinates.
I would actually have to look at the video and see.
Do you know
where
what that
comes
means,
up,
Lauri?
In order to. Well.
Do you know what it means?
Not actually really. So I would have to look that up.
It's pretty important.
Okay.
It's pretty important for what it is you're trying to say.
Sure.
I mean, that's kind of vital. as a matter of fact.
Sure. So, can I ask you guys a question? Are you taking a step that because there was no elevation change, that kind of invalidates the globe model? Is that sort of the thing that you go for?
Oh, sorry. Is that somebody spot on? Do you want to turn your camera off? I've got a really bad mic. I couldn't hear a word then. Sorry, Lauri. I couldn't hear.
Sorry, guys. Didn't realise I clicked that.
No problem. So are you sort of making an argument that because there is no elevation change, it cannot be a globe? Is that kind of a thing that you would go for?
No.
Okay.
It's just that level is horizontal for me, anyway.
Yeah, I would say the same. I mean, if there's no elevation change, then there's no elevation change. I'm not trying to, read into it any more than that.
Do you think it would?
I don't know why. Go ahead.
Do you think it would mean something, Lauri, if we could prove that level was horizontal? Do you think that would mean anything?
I'm not really sure at the moment.
Okay.
That's fair enough, I guess.
Do you think we can prove if level is horizontal or if level has some amount of curvature somewhere?
Well, I think my stance at the moment is that there is a deep confusion about the words that we use.
The words, but horizontal, there's no confusion in the word horizontal, is there?
Well, there sometimes is. Like even in language.
No.
For example, in linguistics, there's no...
Lauri, no. Horizontal is a straight line. It's a right line that is perpendicular to vertical or a plumb. Right? There's no getting around that. That's a mathematical thing. You're not going to get around a horizontal not being a straight line.
I'm not trying to get around anything. Okay. What are you talking about?
Well, you said there was a confusion in the words.
Well, there is a confusion about the words.
What is the confusion in the word horizontal then?
Well, flat earthers kind of tend to misuse. Sorry, I actually apologize because I shouldn't bring up flat earthers, do this and that. I kind of try to fix that.
Okay, so who has a confusion about horizontal then?
Well, let's say there is confusion in the discussion with people that are dubious about the globe model.
Okay, right. Well, can we say then, if for next time when we come and have a conversation, or maybe you want to have a go now, but when we do, we agree on certain words that we are going to be using. That's the first thing we should do, right? We should agree on the definitions of the certain words that we're going to bring in to an argument, right? That we all agree that we can use those words to go forward to present an argument, right? Then there's no going backtracking on the meanings of words. We are already agreed with them.
Sure.
Yeah, like you can't change your mind later and say, oh, no, that doesn't mean what I already agreed to for it to mean.
So for a standard then, Lauri, would you agree that any words that are used and defined within mathematics are good? Like, they're words that we can usually go with, or we could definitely go with because it's maths, right? They are exact. They're already set. You can't go changing the words, the meanings of the words within a mathematical context, can you?
Yeah, it depends on where you are applying that to. But if you stay strictly within mathematics, I guess for most contexts, yes.
Okay. So what words do you think we should be using then, if we are talking about shape, for instance?
Well, for example, lines, circles, triangles, like those are, typical words in geometry that one might use.
So that's brilliant. So a triangle, let's say for starters, a triangle. Now, what is a triangle to you?
Well, I don't think that's how mathematics works. It doesn't ask one person's opinion.
No, I know. Okay, then. But do you want me to tell you what a triangle is then, or do you want to show us
no,
your
that's
knowledge
not necessarily it either.
of what you can do with
like it
triangle?
Would be
mathematical.
Like it would be looking up from some mathematics book or something like that. Like it wouldn't be my opinion or your opinion.
Can you not? Yeah. Can you not do it off the top of your head? With, like a triangle.
No. The thing is,
I'll go first.
Sure, I could do that.
Okay.
Sure, I could do that, but I would actually, because it's a long time since I studied mathematics. If I were to do this properly, I would probably actually go through and look up the definitions of every single word, beginning from line, triangle, and so because actually
one-dimensional.
Those kind of definitions might not even get really taught at the normal level.
Well, that's what we do here.
I might not even be aware.
That's what we do here. We're back to first principles. So we can do line. Do you want to do line or see whether you agree with it?
Sure. Like I've actually heard the formal or the official, let's say, definition of a line, which is the shortest distance between 2 points, right?
No, that's a straight line. The shortest distance between its two extreme points would be a straight line. A line is just one-dimensional, right?
Sure, a line is one-dimensional in mathematics.
Yeah. And a straight line is the shortest distance between its two extreme points. Yeah?
Yeah, the shortest distance.
So what about a triangle then? Because there's a few different things about a triangle, right? Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first? And we'll just sort of pass it around. It's what we do here. Geometry, right?
Triangle normally has three sides and three inside angles.
3 straight sides, right?
Sure.
3 straight sides, 3 internal angles. So it would be the total.
So I think the sides would be following the definition of a line. Of course, in mathematics, a line can be infinite, but of course in a triangle it wouldn't be infinite.
Okay. What about if I was to say a trilateral figures or triangles by 3 straight lines? That's all it needs for Euclid, right? Mathematics. 3 straight lines. The rest is all axiomated, right? The amount of angles, 2 right angles, that's axiomated. If a straight line standing on 2 straight lines has the angles less than right angles, then if extended, those lines shall meet on the side which has less than 2 right angles, right? It's axiomated that a triangle is formed with 2 right angles. But yeah, a triangle has straight sides, right? Because an angle is measured as the inclination between 2 straight lines, right? You can't measure an angle to a curve. It's just not possible.
Can I ask a clarifying question? What is a right angle?
What is a right angle?
Yep.
It's the meeting of 2 right lines perpendicular. Yep. There's only 2 straight lines that can form a perpendicular, right?
Sure. And you said that there are 2 right angles in a triangle, right? So
yes,
that would be like 2 90 degrees.
No.
Angles.
How can you have 2 90-degree right angles in a triangle?
That's what I got confused by, because you said two right angles.
Yeah. I'll read it again. I'll read the axiom again for you, because I don't know whether you've heard it or not, whether you missed it when I said it. I said it's axiomated the amount of angles, right? If a straight line meet 2 straight lines so as to make the 2 interior angles on the same side of it taken together less than 2 right angles, these straight lines being continually produced shall at length meet on the side on which the angles are less than 2 right angles.
Oh, sure.
I can show you a picture
where the confusion. I think I see where the confusion
Your
is.
confusion.
It's less than. I'm not sure if you. I'm not sure if you misspoke or if I misheard, but that's where the confusion was.
Well, you see, what happens is when those 2 angles are less than 2 right angles, right? Where they meet, the remainder is at that other angle because they meet to make a triangle.
That makes
therefore making 2 right angles, because Euclid doesn't use numbers. There's no 180 degrees in Euclid. He only uses a right angle.
So I think so. You're reading from Euclid, right? So where is this that you were reading from, so that I might be able to read it from myself?
Euclid, the Elements. It's a pretty
page,
popular axiom.
Yeah, I know it's pretty popular. Like I heard you talk about it the other day, so I know Euclid.
Okay,
so
good.
Can you tell me where exactly?
Axiom 12.
Sure.
Hey, what's up, Lebrecca?
What's up? I guess you know me because you shouldn't.
It's called the triangle axiom. Look it up. Cleary, I think you've got it, have you? Wait a minute, I'll find one for you. We got it. If you want to take it away, you want to look at it. Is that what you were after?
Yeah, I got sidetracked because someone called me by a different nick. Of course, there's no problem with that, but it was kind of confusing to me.
There's the triangle axiom. Surely you've heard of it.
Yeah, like I heard you talk about it the other day.
Yeah.
And of course, I have heard of Euclid way before that.
Good. I'm glad people have heard of Euclid way before that. I always like it. Have you never actually bothered looking into it? It's like a puzzle book. Really?
Yeah, I've never read Euclid personally, but I've read some other mathematics
Do you
stuff.
think it's a bit childish?
Theory and so. No, I don't think it's childish, no.
Okay. Do you think
that would be like saying Aristotle is childish? Like you would be childish if you said that. Of course, Aristotle was wrong on some points and so on.
Was he? I don't want to get into logic and all of that sort of stuff. But
some of those guys were pretty. Let's say they were not so woman friendly, and also I think it was Aristotle who thought that. Things fall down because they have an inner desire, so that, for example, when a pen falls, the pen wants to go down.
A pen?
And I don't think
Did he have a pen?
Yeah.
No, it sounds like it's been modernized. Aristotle.
Well, sure, he would have been talking about, for example, rocks or maybe horse carriages.
I don't tend to believe things like that because, like we said earlier, we can't verify anything, can we? It's just brain farts from people, and it could be the brain farts of the person that wrote the story about the guy that you're talking about. I mean, it's not beyond people to write down things to make a narrative more compliant with what they want to push, right? I mean, you've obviously seen that sort of thing happen. I have. So I like to verify stuff. And just because some dude said something in the, or somebody else has told us that some dude said something about something else, doesn't really cut it, does it? That'd be like saying a certain group of people think this.
I think it's interesting that you kind of said it differently. You worded the triangle axiom differently because you used the word remainder and it doesn't say that there.
No, well, but can you not imply? Yeah, right. Where they meet, there is another angle, right? Now, what do you think that other angle is?
Well, it could be sort of anything, couldn't it? If we think outside the box, I mean.
Well, if it could have more than 2 right angles, then wouldn't it also be able to meet on the side that had more than 180?
That's an interesting
or
thought.
2 right angles.
The side that has less.
I'm not sure if we're gonna get anywhere here. It's, by the way, it's 10 o'clock here, so I'm kind of getting slow with my thinking on here.
Right, but yeah, it's an axiom, right? You know what axioms are?
Sure.
Self-evident
sure, I know
truths.
what axioms are.
Right, so on the side that has less,
they are.
on the side which has less than 2 right angles, if produced, those lines would meet, forming a triangle.
Sure.
Yeah. So they can't meet on the other side.
Sure.
Yeah. So that's why it's an axiom. Yeah, that's why that is an axiom.
Isn't really, an axiom isn't really something that's self-evident. It's something that you
one
assume
is,
to be
isn't it?
true, and then you develop. Yeah, but that's not how you define an axiom.
Well,
an axiom is something that you take as truth and you kind of build a mathematical, because I know about this stuff at least.
Have you?
An axiom is like you make a few founding statements that you cannot prove. Those are called your axioms.
What do you mean you cannot prove? What do you mean you cannot prove? They're self-evident. Like if I was to say to you, 2 straight lines cannot enclose a space. What would that mean? Would that be a self-evident truth? Or would you think
you have to prove it? Not necessarily, because we know that can happen.
What, it can? 2 straight lines can enclose a space. How? That's like an angle, right?
That's something to think about, isn't it? That's something to think about.
Angle, how does an angle
it's sort of out of the box
enclose a space?
Yep. So it's kind of out of the box. I like to sometimes think out of the box, and sometimes a bit freely. Like I don't want to be confined to some narrow axioms defined by some ancient dude some 20,000 years ago. Like sometimes
2 straight lines.
The axiom is provable,
right? 2 straight lines cannot enclose a space, right? It's a statement, right? You've heard of the law of non-contradiction, right? And now logic is based upon this fundamental understanding that you can't have something that isn't something else. So first off, you make a statement, right? Now that statement either has to be true or false. It can't be both, and it can't be neither, otherwise it's not a statement, right? So when I say 2 straight lines cannot enclose a space, right? It's a statement. I say it's an axiom, right? Now you say you can think outside of the box and negate it, right? Well, I say you can't. And you would either have to break the rule of there being 2 lines and add another one, or you would have to bend the lines, thus making them not straight. Right? So when I say 2 straight lines cannot enclose a space, that is a statement. Right? It's either true or false. It cannot be both. Do you understand that?
Can I ask a question? I think we were supposed to.
Can you just say that whether you understand what I've just said?
No. I'm sorry. It's getting tired here, and I kind of got distracted. I was wondering because we were supposed to define the terms, and I'm wondering how we got to this conversation because we are talking about axioms and logical statements.
This is where you start off, right, with definitions, and then you go to axioms.
No, but this is not definitions. You are talking about Euclid's axioms. I know that's your thing, but we were supposed to define the terms first, and we're not doing that. I think
we're sort of getting there because we're talking about
so we're getting there. Yeah.
We're talking about two straight lines and an angle.
Can you move it along then, because I don't have
an angle and a triangle.
It's like 10
which is where we were at the beginning. Triangle is 3 straight lines, right? 2 straight lines cannot enclose a space. You need the third straight line.
Where did you get that? Like we didn't
triangle.
Go through. Where did you get that they and you didn't ask me if they can like you kind of made it a just a statement that two lines cannot enclose a space. Can you kind of show that somewhere?
It's an axiom.
Oh, it's an axiom, so
yes.
You don't need to sort of verify. You can just state it. Okay, I'm gonna make statement then as well. Santa Claus is real. Therefore, we have an axiom there.
Brilliant.
If
that's what you think you do,
Lauri?
Brilliant.
Do you disagree with that statement?
No, it has been shown to not be true. Yes,
it's been shown to not be true.
Really? How?
How? You guys are feigning ignorance, right? Like you. Bev, you were the other day talking about this, and you were shown a picture with a sphere that had 2 lines.
They're not straight lines, though.
So why are you? No. You are confused about the definition of straight. Why did you get so confused? I thought we went over this.
Lauri, please, can you put me straight, right now? On your definition of straight. Go, please.
Sorry. Right now, can you define me the question again? Can you repeat the question?
Can you tell me your definition of straight, please?
The shortest distance between 2 points.
LeBrecca, who's coaching you, man? You got distracted a minute ago. Somebody helping you out?
No, I don't need any help. I'm wrecking your guys' ass.
You're getting lost there for a minute.
So that's the shortest distance between 2 points, right?
Yeah, you kind of blew past that.
Well, that's a straight line.
It'd be or a chord if that's what you want to. It'd be through something. It'd be a straight line. Point to point.
I'm not asking you to accept it. It's a mathematical axiom. If you want to throw it away, you can.
I really like it. The shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line.
Yes, that's the definition, Bev.
Okay, now how can two straight lines enclose a space? Because what you've got is
2 straight lines.
Yeah, and you'll have one at, let's call it a vertex, right? One point there, and then you've got 2 other points that you put out.
Sure.
To make 2 straight lines. Now, how can you make those 2 straight lines enclose a space? They get further away from each other, don't they?
So which kind of geometry are we talking about currently?
Just a straight line in reality, right? That's what we're doing.
Straight line in reality. Well, reality has different sort of shapes. Reality has paper kind of shapes, and it has spherical shapes, and it has
points. Yes, you have points and positions with straight lines. Do you think a straight line can come back and return to itself? Or do you think it just extends indefinitely far in either direction of the line?
It kind of depends on the surface, right?
No.
Like if you're drawing it on a paper.
2 points.
3
points would make a triangle with 3 straight sides, wouldn't it?
Yeah, 3 straight sides. Yeah. So what kind of surface?
So that's an enclosed space triangle. Needs 3
you're
sides.
Babbling, Bev. Stop babbling. What kind of shape are we drawing this straight line on?
Just straight lines.
Just straight lines. Yeah,
Absolutely,
but what kind of paper are we drawing that straight line on?
This is geometry.
What kind of shape?
This is
geometry, yes, and I'm wrecking your ass. So can you define what kind of shape are we drawing
Just
that line on?
2 points.
2 points.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you won't apply this to any kind of reality then?
Of course I will. Yeah. Actual reality. Like a triangle.
Oh, okay, so...
Yeah. Imagine you've got a triangle, but you've only got 2 sides. You've got no third side. Can you imagine some way that they could enclose a space, please?
Imagine a triangle. Wait a minute. Did you just say that imagine a triangle, you have 2 sides?
No, a triangle has 3 sides. I said, imagine.
That's why I got confused.
Imagine you've only got 2 sides.
Oh, so it's another triangle. Okay.
No, it's just 2 sides, 2 straight lines.
Okay, sure.
Can you explain how we can get those to enclose a space, please? Your camera's back on.
It's quite darn easy. Take a basketball and draw 2 lines on that.
A basketball is a
3-dimensional
object. It is curved, right? It is a surface of constant curvature.
Congratulations, Bev. You noticed.
Okay, so how can you have
learned
a straight line
today,
drawn on a curve? It would be a chord. The shortest distance between 2 points would go through the ball, wouldn't it?
But the shortest distance on the surface wouldn't.
We're not saying that. 2 straight
lines that's how geometry
cannot
works,
enclose a space. No, you don't. You can't just imagine a new geometry and bend straight lines. It can't be done. You'd have to be.
Oh, but it has been done. It has been done ages ago.
Imagined straight lines curving has been done. In reality, right? Have you imagined a straight line into a curve? In reality, have you done that?
I'm getting tired of this, Bev.
I'm not surprised.
You're babbling your points, and you're not really listening. So this is not a conversation any longer.
Yeah.
If you think that if a straight line curves and you're, on a ball, then how did Jesse come up with 3 coplanar points?
Oh, that's a good point.
Are you really suggesting that we cannot draw straight lines on a spherical object?
He's suggesting that you don't know what you're talking about, Lauri. You shouldn't be here defending this stuff because you don't know anything about it.
Yeah, but I'm still, even with
nothing.
My
Admittedly,
I'm still wrecking your ass.
You don't know anything about surveying. You don't know anything about geometry.
That's actually incorrect because I still wrecked your ass on the GPS points.
Do you think?
Dude, you sound like Space Thug. You got like an anal obsession.
Yeah.
Man. Come on.
What anal obsession? I didn't even say anything anal. If you read that as anal, then you have the obsession because I didn't think anything.
Wrecking your ass. What are you wrecking? Someone's ass?
Oh, it's just an idiomatic statement. Like people use that kind of language all the time. They don't necessarily think anal. If you want to be an anal ass about it,
we don't do
sure,
that.
Go ahead.
Lauri.
Sure. Oh, you don't do that.
I've never heard Bev say I just wrecked your ass ever.
The thing is, when people come over, we just want a conversation. There's no winning or it's just literally a conversation. That's all we're after. There's no we won.
Yeah, but well, sure. I actually agree to that to a degree, at least. Like I've seen from a few guys Mobius, that you guys aren't pathological to the core, let's say, because some people are, and I'm not kind of pinning that on you. There is more room for free, honest discussion here than one would have expected.
Okay,
for example,
Lauri,
because I was in 24/7.
Who is the best geometer that you've got?
Who is the best geometer?
Who's the best geometer that you've ever heard of from the globe side? Who is the best guy or girl? I mean, it could be either. At explaining the geometry of the shape of the thing you live on, right? Who's the best at that?
I think. Let me hold on a minute. I think Wit is kind of good at this.
Oh, right. Do you reckon? I don't think she'd be that good. Would she?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, I
wow.
think
She's kept quiet. I'd give her a shout. Yeah, I'd love to have a chat. Anyway.
She's actually been in the army, which kind of surprised me. Of course, that has nothing to do with geometry, but she's full of surprises.
Okay. Globe geometry, or just Euclidean geometry? I'll talk to anyone about Euclidean geometry too.
If we say globe geometry, are we assuming the globe? Because that's sort of a problem.
I don't know. Are you assuming a globe?
No, I was asking the question.
Do you think, are you of the imagination that Euclidean geometry can actually prove your globe? Or do you think you might need another geometry to try and do that? Or do you think you can? I mean, I don't know. It would be really easy if you think there's a proof in Euclidean geometry for your model. I mean, that'd be great. We could test that, couldn't we? We could go out and check it. Because that's what Euclidean geometry is. It's like the right line geometry of reality.
Was there a question there or something?
Yeah. Do you imagine that Euclidean geometry can prove your globe? Question
I don't really know either way, but I know that you have no good reason to shut out spherical geometry. You have
to
just
shout out spherical geometry.
Well, shut out, not shout out.
Yeah, but you have different rules, right, for each one.
He doesn't know. He's just globe defending right now.
Bev, you're kind of insulting me when you say that I don't know, because you don't know what the hell I know and what the hell I don't know.
Okay, so go on then. Off you go. Off you go.
Me.
Are there different rules?
Well, there is no problem.
Earlier, if it's you've got different rules. They had to change the rules for the different geometries. It's just like earlier you said a straight line can curve, but then you turn around and say you don't think we can make straight lines. So I'm confused.
Sorry, I'm actually having trouble following along because it is 22 o'clock here.
Okay.
And if sooner or later we are gonna have to call this quits because I'm gonna have to go to sleep.
Okay. But you were saying about your geometry, right? The one that you use for your model. Is it Euclidean or isn't it Euclidean? That'll do for a start. I mean, that shouldn't take too much.
We used spherical geometry, yes.
Okay. Do you always use spherical geometry?
No.
Okay.
For example, if we do practical stuff, we sometimes like it's always up to which is accurate enough. So sometimes we use simplifications and say that okay, let's assume a flat plane because it just makes the calculations easier. But then when we do larger scale stuff, we use spherical geometry.
Okay. You know Newton. You've heard of him, right? He's a bit famous, I think. He's in a few books. Do you know which geometry he used?
Hold on, who was Newton? Which guy exactly? I forgot.
Sir Isaac, is it?
No.
Isaac Newton.
I think you're confused. It was IMAB.
No, Sir Isaac Newton, the guy who I'm talking about.
Oh, it was Isaac. Oh, okay.
Have you heard of the guy?
I think IMAB was his brother, right?
I haven't got a clue. Have you heard?
Okay, so you don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Have you heard of a guy called Isaac Newton?
Obviously, everyone's heard of him.
Now, which geometry would you imagine he used?
Well, I'm not sure if that's a point. What kind of geometry he used?
Why?
He could have used. No. I don't really know the timeline as far as mathematics goes.
Okay.
But
I'll tell you. They hadn't invented spherical geometry when Isaac Newton was around. So he only used Euclidean geometry. That's all he used.
Yeah. So is that a point or something?
Yeah. Because you like to imagine that you use a different geometry, don't you? You just said it earlier. Spherical geometry.
So you think you said that that's some kind of a point. So what kind of point do you think that you're making here?
That Isaac Newton used Euclidean geometry, and you said you use spherical geometry. That's the only point I'm making.
Yeah.
Just confirming
what
we said.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
you agree you did say that.
Is there?
Good.
Yeah. So is there anything that you want to like state with that? Is there some kind of like any other points? Is it just random statements? Okay. Oh yeah. Alexander of Egypt also used different geometry than you. Let's bring up these random dudes from history who use different geometry.
He would have definitely used Euclidean geometry.
So is there some kind of point here?
Aristophanes
Are you trying to make a point?
If he were a real person, Aristophanes would have used Euclidean geometry.
I'm asking you a question, Bev. Can you answer it? Are you trying to make a point here?
Yes. The point being that you shouldn't really be talking about stuff that you don't know much about.
Hold on. That point makes no logical sense whatsoever. You said Newton used Euclidean geometry.
He did.
And I knew who Newton was. Yep. I was just feigning ignorance if you didn't get that. And then you somehow say that proves your point.
I had to tell you who he was.
Bev, I'm making
you thought it was some other dude. You didn't know his name, Lauri.
Bev, I was feigning ignorance.
It's okay for you to say that now, Lauri, but you seriously didn't know who he was earlier.
All right, Bev. If you want to go with that, that's fine. That just proves that you're a person that would take that kind of a joke seriously, and you would actually use that against the other person, because you don't have stronger points. You can only make a point that I supposedly didn't know who Newton was because I was feigning ignorance because you were being a condescending asshole. So I kind of went along, okay, yeah, sure, I don't know who Newton was. Tell me about him. Educate me on him. And you would seriously use that as if that was a true statement and I didn't know who Newton was. Get the fuck out of here, cunt.
Wow. You're getting a little bit triggered there, Lauri.
No, I'm just pointing out that you're being a moron.
Joking with you, Lauri.
No, he seriously thinks that's... He seriously thinks that's...
serious, isn't he?
Lauri,
he seriously thinks that's a good point.
He's playing with you.
Now are you telling Bev what he's thinking? You just got onto him for doing that to you?
Yeah, he's not triggered. Don't worry about it. He's all right.
So,
it's getting late, guys. Don't.
Yeah.
Lauri, are you not aware of British humor?
So, what did you say earlier, Essie? Did you say that he was toying with me?
Did we get to the point?
Did you say that he was toying with me?
You shouldn't really be talking about this stuff. You're a bit like Sean Hawkins, right? You're delving into places that you shouldn't be.
Let's cut to the chase. So you say that I shouldn't be talking about this. Yeah. Why?
Because I'm after talking to the best globe geometers. It's definitely not you. Definitely
I tried
not
to
you.
point it out to you a minute ago.
What kind of point is that? Because I would call that insulting, and I would call that condescending. I would call you an asshole.
Okay, well, if you think it's an insult for me to say that you don't know anything about your model geometrically,
let me ask you a question, Bev. Mm-hmm. Is this an honest discussion, or are you just trying to mock people who think differently?
You were the one that said, you just said you were being dishonest. You said that. You were being disingenuous.
I was feigning ignorance.
Okay, so is that being dishonest?
And he made a joke and you took it serious, Lauri. Come on, man.
Yeah, he made it. Yeah.
Be an adult.
Essie, you are justifying pathological behavior. You are justifying pathological jokes.
Lauri, he was making a joke that you didn't know about Newton.
Yeah,
what's wrong with
Essie,
you?
let me educate you, Essie. Narcissistic people use pathological jokes and then they justify it. Yeah, I can kind of put you down, I can belittle you, and then I can say it's just a joke. Just a prank.
I don't think you're in a position
but
to educate
he asked you if you knew about Newton, and you said no. Don't you get it?
And you guys, Well, is there a problem with feigning ignorance? Is that dishonest?
No, but he pulled a joke on you and you got triggered. Relax. Let me
clarify.
Haven't you realized that by now,
I'm quite relaxed. So so it's your statement then, SE, that it's dishonest to feign ignorance.
That's you.
That's what Bev does. That's you, Bev, because you all the time when someone picks up, oh, is this Lauri that's talking? I didn't hear you. Your microphone was like you feign ignorance all that.
What are you talking about, please?
You guys do it all the time. So don't claim that you have.
What do we do, Lauri? You've just said something about me not being able to hear you. Is that?
You guys feign ignorance all the time. Bloodthicker did it. Bloodthicker did it earlier in the chat.
Lauri, please.
He asked me about flat Earth. He said, "What's flat Earth?" As if you don't know what flat Earth is.
To you, he asked. He asked you what your interpretation of flat Earth was.
Well, what's your interpretation of flat Earth, Ben?
Me? Right, flat is a two-dimensional figure, plane. It is two-dimensional, right? It is.
Thank you.
Where we live.
So SC Montreal, it's your turn.
Where we live is obviously. No, Lauri, let me finish.
No, I was asking a question.
Yes, and I hadn't finished answering, Lauri.
You are acting like an asshole.
No, Lauri, you are a guest in this server, right? If you ask a question, have the common decency to hear the answer.
Rickard.
Do you want me to finish, Lauri?
Yeah, sir. Go ahead, finish.
Okay. Flat is a two-dimensional surface, a plane. The Earth is not two-dimensional. Never will be. Are you triggered? You were that triggered, you had to interrupt. Okay, carry on. Lauri, I'm done.
Yep.
Lauri, why are you being so defensive, man? Are you scared?
Oh, no. There's no defensive here. I'm just pointing out because Bev was kind of making a stupid point. Like, Bev was asking, like, seriously, Cleary. Let's take this serious for a moment. Bev was asking me about Newton. And then the point that he was trying to make was, like, he went on a huge, do you know about Newton? Do you know about this? Do you know about that? Bev, you're interrupting me. We're having a discussion. Can you come your teeth, sir? So,
settle down, Lauri. You're talking about orbits, right?
Stop getting triggered.
Straight line orbits.
Cleary, if you want to interrupt, and if you want me to go away, I can, because it's 22. It's soon 11 o'clock, so I should be going to sleep. So you can either decide, Cleary, either have a good discussion. Yeah.
You just want to monologue.
I can see that you're triggered, Cleary. I can see that you're triggered.
No,
so go ahead.
What I was trying to say is, a constant velocity requires a straight line. You know that.
That has nothing to do with the topic we were talking about, so you're being an asshole, Cleary.
Oh, I'm being an asshole. You were talking about Newton. I figured you were talking about straight line orbits, right?
Yeah, I figured. Yeah. You can shut the hell up, Cleary, and only bring up points that are relevant. Thank you.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Can't stand up for yourself now, eh?
I'm not triggered like you, man.
Well,
it doesn't bother me.
Yeah. This is what you guys do, right? You like to trigger people, so I kind of know that
triggered.
In this sense
you choose to trigger yourself, right?
No.
You choose to have emotional defense mechanisms kick in because you feel threatened, right? You feel
I'm not really being threatened. I'm not really being threatened, but see that the thing is, I can either shut down and let you guys speak over me, or I can speak for myself. If you want to call me speaking for myself triggering,
yeah, we can speak back and forth, right? We could slow down, and have a conversation, and not a monologue.
But let's bring. let's then bring this back to who actually interrupted the flow of the conversation, because I was trying to point out that Bev was making a stupid point. He started talking over me. So it's kind of a Bev issue then, right?
We're trying to communicate here now, right? What is the stupid point?
Yeah, I have to really ask you, Clary, because you interrupted me in the middle of that point. So will you interrupt me again like an asshole?
Oh my God, get with it.
So you can't cite a stupid point.
So, Bev, I will actually make a statement to you. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. You have no room to be in this discussion.
Did you just say me? Like I wasn't even here. I was in the kitchen. The fuck?
So
who were you talking to just then?
I'm talking to you, Bev.
Right, okay. What are you saying? That I have no right to be in a discussion that I wasn't actually in at the time that you just brought my name into it?
You call yourself the Socratic geometer, but you know nothing about geometry. So you have no room to talk.
Wow.
That's
SE in Montreal as well.
Flip-flopping different geometries that have different rules, like they got the same thing. That's why Bev told
that statement shows that you know nothing about
Lauri,
geometry
you hurt my
either.
feelings. Come on now.
Are you joking, Lauri? You're just
We're
joking,
being nice
right?
to you. What's wrong with you?
You're being nice to me.
You genuinely
Stop the
hurt
fuck
my
up.
feelings.
You're being a liar.
Wow,
Who's
Lauri,
angry
calm
and
down, please.
Who's not?
There's no need
Who's
to
angry
insult
here?
people round here with a vile,
Started
horrible
insulting me,
language like
You
that.
started
Please
not
don't
today.
stop the name calling, Lauri.
Or
Please.
again.
If you don't understand geometry, that's okay. You can learn. We can help you learn.
Yeah. You don't
It's not a
know
big
about the cavitation either. You just
Oh, I
admitted
have
that.
I have a serious question, because I actually have university lessons tomorrow. So if this is just this childish name calling, if that's all you guys can do, because I actually
Called you
wrecked
any
your ass.
names.
Lauri, nobody
It's
calls
only
names.
you.
You're
It's
the
only
one that
you
was
calling
wrecking
people
asses, remember?
names.
Did you just say wreck your ass again?
Come on, Lauri, man. Be
There is only
civilized.
you calling anybody names. It's very painful for you to know the truth. That's the problem.
You know what it is, Brian?
Seriously?
He's used to swearing
Seriously.
on gems. He's not used to us being civil. He'll get used to it.
Yeah.
All right.
Like
So then I'm actually going to leave this room.
We'll see you
We're being
tomorrow.
too nice, are we, for you, Lauri?
Will you come back, Lauri?
Oh,
Please?
Lauri,
Will you come
don't
back?
go, mate.
Will you come
back
back,
for the,
Lauri? Or will you go and
back
say
for the
lies
call.
that we were mean to you?
Yeah, just
one-
next
what
time,
will it
Lauri.
be?
Next time, bring a couple of your Glober friends, and you can all just hurl insults, and you'll feel way better at home.
Yeah, you'll feel at home.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
a question to the
don't
room
play them
before I
games.
leave. A question to the room
Oh,
before
you
I
were
leave.
going.
Yeah, so a question to the room before I leave. I know that you guys can only be condescending assholes, because that's what Bev's whole fucking point was. His whole fucking point was, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about,
It's all
but
right.
I wrecked your guys' asses
get
on
This is where he
GPS.
tries to reframe everything.
Wow.
Like
Yeah.
I
You don't
did
gotta
wreck
go
your
down like
asses
this,
on
Lauri. Come on,
GPS,
man.
so if you guys can actually handle a decent, honest conversation,
Sorry, Laura.
so let's talk about GPS and Soundly.
We
Let's
wrecked
talk
I don't
about
have
him
any
because
skills.
We wrecked
because
your
you
ass.
guys
Soundly
didn't-
can't even
No,
talk
you
about
guys
Soundly
just
and
want to play
GPS.
the game.
He's
You guys
gone.
want to pretend
He's
that
gone
you
with
won.
Jesse. Jesse and
But the only
Soundly
thing you
disappeared.
won me
They've
was
gone.
that
The-
you stated
the
your
best
religious
you've got
belief
at the
that I
minute-
don't know
The
shit.
best you've got
Which
at the
is
minute,
your
Laurie,
opinion. You are
is
entitled to your
Larry
opinion, but if you
GPS.
think
That's
that's a
it. He's
logical
your
point,
best.
if you think that's rational, then you're being fucking cultist morons. Now
Well,
let's
I don't
bring
know.
it to the
You're
real
probably
discussion.
Nobody
which
can
should be
really hear
about
what
the
you're
Back
talking
on
about,
the
Laurie.
corner,
Don't
now
worry
you
about
want
it.
to
and
leave
about
angry
GPS
and
and
say we were
Soundly and
mean.
how that
We
proves
love you,
garbage.
Laurie. Laurie, we love you.
So can you guys still? We can still be
We
here.
love you,
We
Laurie.
can
need
be,
for this
we can
triggering
still
that
be
you guys
friends,
have.
Laurie. No
So can
matter
you guys
what
bring
you
it
think
back
of us,
Laurie, let's
to
hug
we
the
it
can
out.
honest
still be
conversation?
friends.
Let's
Let's
hug it
bring
out.
it back and let's see if you can debunk Soundly. and the
I wouldn't
GPS
like you to
evidence
not
and
be
GPS.
ready for your
You guys have
university
the
lesson
floor.
tomorrow,
Go
Laurie.
ahead.
You might need to go away to go and get some sleep, because you've got university tomorrow. We don't want to be the ones responsible for you not being the sharpest you can be when you go to
Sorry,
your
Bev,
university
you were
lessons.
muted. So if you want to actually,
I wasn't muted.
Have me hear you can restate.
I wasn't muted. Yeah. This is being recorded. They could hear it. Fine.
He muted you.
I don't. It doesn't matter to anyone, does it? The fact that he doesn't hear what I'm saying, you can watch it on the replay when we put it out, Lauri.
Sure.
Yeah.
Lauri,
so, Bev, can you talk about GPS because I didn't
just going to go and take the missus a brew, all right? Do you want to... You talk
Lauri,
some smack
you were
talk.
more mature than this.
So, Bev, let's talk. Let's bring this still to the discussion. Can we actually go through the GPS?
Well, I was going to say
are you there?
Tired, leave
no, he's gone to take his wife a drink.
Oh, so can you talk about the GPS, sounding and GPS then, Brian? Can you handle that?
Handle what?
I'll bring you guys off mute. Sounding and the GPS, because I brought that evidence up to the table. You guys couldn't meet it yet, so can you guys talk about that?
Did you do it?
I don't know what the fuck is going on about.
Of course you don't, because you don't. Yeah, thank you, Brian. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
You're talking. I don't know what the fuck you're going on about.
What's your claim about the GPS, Lauri?
It proves curvature.
GPS. It didn't sound like that here.
Soundly.
GPS, gives a box grid system. Cannot be used on a curved surface.
Lauri,
that's your religious belief, Brian.
No, that is the truth. It's a box grid system.
It's your religious belief, Brian.
No, it is a box
it's your religious belief
that cannot be used on a curve.
Talk over each other. Hey, come on, guys. Like, Brian, you're talking, mate. You carry on. Lauri, please wait, mate, and then you can say what you need to say.
But why would I listen when he doesn't know what the hell he...
Well, yes, I do. I'll mute him.
Lauri, you're actually funny, because we can't take you seriously at all.
What are you saying, Brian? I want to hear what you're saying.
Lauri, whatever your name is, you do not live on a ludicrous spinning ball. End of story. We have debunked it. 100%. Get over it.
Okay, so can I ask you a question, Brian?
He's not going to answer anything or make any statements or anything. He's just going to swap from person to person, asking questions and getting butt hurt at the answers.
Brian was just...
watch out, Brian.
I can have a discussion.
Watch out, you don't tell him any truth. He'll get really upset about it and say it's false.
Hold on, Bev. I was having a discussion with Brian. I was asking him a question,
off you go.
He could have asked me a question.
Yeah, that's fine. Off you go.
That was pretty rude of you, Bev. Come on now.
Yeah, sorry.
He might even concede that he doesn't know something and then tell you that you don't know.
So, Brian, how you said that you have debunked the globe. How did you do that exactly?
Easily, mate. Absolute piece of piss.
So how? Some concreteness to the table, please.
Your ludicrous belief that your world is spinning, and it's spinning to the point where the centrifugal force actually distorts your planet to the
That's
point
complete other side, Brian. So how did you do some concrete test or something?
And it bulges out the equator, doesn't it? That's what you believe. But that horrendous centrifugal force cannot be detected anywhere at all. And plumbobs prove that there is no centrifugal force. 100% proof you do not live on a ludicrous spinning ball. 100% proof.
Oh,
can you see that?
Brian. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Brian, because you were just completely...
Get it in your head. You do not live on a ludicrous spinning ball. Yeah. They are lying to you. They're not lying to me anymore.
Sure, but you made a statement. Can I respond at some point? Or is this Brian Mappet religious rattle on time? Because you were completely incorrect that we haven't measured the centrifugal force. We have measured it, Brian. So actually study the evidence.
I never said you hadn't. I never said you had.
No, Brian.
Lauri,
you haven't studied
how you measure that.
Which is why, actually, I'm glad that this is now down to me versus you, Brian, in this room, because you only can rattle on your religious beliefs, and you don't know what.
Why do you keep going on about religious, Lauri? Why do you keep doing that?
Because Brian is religious.
He's not. He's just told you he's not.
No, he is.
No, Lauri, please stop doing that. Lauri, please stop doing that. Brian says he is not religious. Please do not tell him that he is religious when he says he isn't.
Religiously.
No, he's not.
Right, I will state it again. Your ridiculous...
he will state it again as religious
Lauri.
Listen, I will state this again. Your ridiculous belief that you are living on a spinning planet that is rotating at 1,000+ miles an hour at the equator, creating so much centrifugal force, it has distorted your planet, squashing the poles and bulging out the equator. Yet it has no effect on anything that is suspended on the surface of that same planet.
Wrong. You haven't looked at the evidence, Brian, if you say
there
that.
Is no fucking evidence.
Look at the evidence. There is evidence.
Right, that's where I can come in. Just a minute, Lauri, please, just 1 minute. If you look in the debate, if you look in the debate discussion, I've got a board. I've been doing this for quite a while, and I've been trying to find the sources for your evidence of your globe curvature. Now, as you can see on that board, Soundly hasn't got anyone. Can I put your name down on that board for Soundly as having proof for the Earth curvature?
Why would you put my name under Soundly?
Because you're not willing to put your name on Soundly then, okay? That's okay. Is there anyone else on that board that you would be willing to put your name on that they have proved Earth curvature to you?
Oh, if the question is can I verify that they have proven the Earth curvature? Yeah, you can put my name
to you.
Yeah, and to everyone. It's up to you if you want to accept that evidence.
Okay, so who would you put on that board then? Where would you put your name on that board?
My name would be under Soundly, yes.
Okay, that's the best proof. He's got the best proof, has he?
No, Soundly, yes. Miles, Dave, Mactoon. I'm not sure what Mactoon has done, but he's got a
website. He's got a website with a load of things on it, hasn't he? He's got a website, Mactoon.
Yeah, I wouldn't go there though. I wouldn't go.
Yeah, don't go to the Mactoon website.
Yeah, I wouldn't go there if you want to believe on the flat Earth, because you will be convinced.
No. This is for your Earth curvature. Your Earth curvature.
Yeah. My Earth curvature and your Earth curvature as well, which you want to deny.
No, I know how to measure elevation. I actually know how to do that.
You know how to measure elevation, but I own your ass even on simple logic.
Mm-hmm. So you put your name on. When did that happen? You put your name on Soundly and Miles Davis.
Yeah, I put my name on Soundly. Soundly is so solid. Do
you know the others
at all?
Do you know the others on there?
Do you know the others?
Yeah. Do you know the others on that board?
I don't know Jeff, and I don't know Larry Scott at all, and I don't know Jesse Kos. Oh, that's Jesse Koslowski. I know him. Yeah, so I would put my name under him.
Jeff is TMS. Is the main surveyor.
Oh yeah, the main.
You've heard of him?
Yeah,
Has he proved curvature to you as well?
Well, I wouldn't vouch for him yet either way, because I
wouldn't vouch for the main surveyor. Doofus Manfred. Anybody that changes their name and hides. Right, I wouldn't count. So we'll not have Jeff. What about Jesse? Has he proved Earth curvature to you?
Yeah. By the way, I'm not saying that these guys haven't proved Earth curvature.
No, I'm just saying. I haven't looked. Nobody's asking you to put your name on something that you are not happy with, right? If they've not proved it to you, don't say they have.
This down, I said soundly.
Yeah.
Do I need to repeat it? I did say soundly.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Because
Just soundly, though, right? He's the
like
best, right? Because I say there's nobody else on that board for soundly.
Yeah. Well, is
that a pity vote?
It's been demonstrated even here because you couldn't even handle the GPS evidence. Like, you were so confused about that, babe.
But do you think that's soundly?
You were.
You think that's soundly, don't you?
Soundly is fine.
But that's not soundly that did the GPS.
Well, Soundly and Jesse Kozlowski, they did it together.
Okay, so you want to put your name on Jesse? Jesse did the measurements. Soundly just took a picture that Walter Bislin made a model
Jesse,
for.
Them both. Soundly and Jesse, them both. Like, why are you trying to pin me on one name?
I'm not trying to pin you on any names.
Both of them have proven the globe. It's your problem if you're ignorant.
To you.
Yeah, and to you they didn't because you're a moron.
Well, yeah, they didn't.
Yeah, you are.
Okay, that's a nice ad hom,
okay.
But it's all right. Nicely done.
Can I ask a quick question?
Sure.
You go to university to learn, right? Things you don't know or don't understand, correct?
Sure.
Your professors, you trust them because they're teaching you something that you don't know, right?
It doesn't always go like that, but sure.
Well, okay. So Bev was trying to walk you through a logical argument with the whole sounding.
Well, Bev is not my professor.
Whoa. I didn't say he was. I just said Bev was trying to walk you through a logical argument based on the information with Soundling's Bridge and some information that you conceded you didn't know about.
No, I didn't concede. I know about it. Yeah, I brought it up. I brought the fucking argument up. Oh yeah, no. Sorry, I was confused about what you were. So you were referring to Bev's counter argument.
Yeah, you should.
Yes.
Don't get too triggered, Lauri. Don't get that triggered that you don't know what you're saying.
Sorry, Bev.
Yeah. There's no problem with that. Yeah, that's just miscommunication.
Okay.
Yeah. I was actually willing to go with it with Bev, but he kind of started lying that it has nothing to do with the shape of the Earth, which kind of brought that whole argument down. I would have gone through with him.
That's your implication on what he's trying to bring. You didn't even let him finish his logical argument. You just automatically said you're going to the shape of the Earth. And you didn't even let him finish.
No, he kind of got angry because I kind of made the
bridge. Don't worry about
that. Yeah, you did get angry. So, and you started lying that it has nothing to do with the shape of the argument. And then later on, you brought it back again with conjunction to the shape of the Earth. So you got confused.
That was you. You're obsessed
relating
with the shape
to
of the Earth.
whether that has
Lauri.
to do with the shape of the Earth.
Lauri, you've been in a Discord server and you have become obsessed with the shape of the Earth. You, Lauri, not me. You.
That's well,
all,
it sort of goes
Lauri.
No, Bev, you're lying. You're lying right now.
Lauri, I hear what you're
saying.
Respect
you because you're
what
a liar,
I'm hearing what I'm hearing from you, Lauri, is you don't have anything, right? You don't have any kind of blow proof at all. You just believe it because that's what you want to do.
Isn't that sort of where you are clearly right?
Not
because
at all.
You guys have nothing either.
All. We have
not at all. Okay, sure. Present me your
every survey ever done is based on horizontal, but you don't want to listen to that. You want to talk through me, right? Every survey is based on a horizontal. Deviation from that horizontal, up or down on the vertical, gives you an elevation change, right? So you measure out a mile away, and you see an 8-inch drop. What do you call that?
That's actually easy to address. So in short distances, we use for simplicity's sake. And I've already said this in this conversation, so
you don't
I'm
have
not
an
sure
answer.
if you guys are listening.
You don't even have an answer.
Oh, I had an answer. I just answered the question.
He did. He had an answer, Cleary. He said that they used the planar short, but then they switched to spherical over long, which have two different rules, sets of rules, which he doesn't know about. They tried to point that out, and he got mad.
No, I know about that. Why do you guys keep making statements that I don't know shit? Like,
You quite obviously don't know shit. It's pretty obvious.
But I do, and I know more than you about the GPS experiment, and I have demonstrated
an experiment.
That. And you guys just want to say that I don't have anything when I presented the evidence, and you've know.
You've shown you've got nothing.
And by the way, I can address your fucking argument relating to the water level.
Can you please stop with the language?
That says. Okay, so I can try. It says an infinite water level, right? What kind of water levels do we use in reality? Not infinite. So it's not even related to the whole topic. So why would you bring that up?
Are you still looking at that?
I'd say the ocean is.
Yeah,
the ocean is infinite?
Unlimited length. Yeah, if you never heard of that.
Yeah.
Oh, so for example, if I take a boat and I go from Europe to America, I will never arrive because the ocean is infinite.
Well, you could go back, and then you could go back, and you could go somewhere else, and you could go this way and that way and the other way.
Oh,
and it's all a big water number, right?
Yeah.
With waves and different changes to it, but basically it's based on.
Sure. So, for example, let's say my computer. I have a computer right here. It's actually 10,000 kilometers long because I can walk all over my computer this way and that way. So the length is 10. It's actually infinite length.
You can go anywhere.
That's a sensible. Yeah, sure. Let's do that.
You can go anywhere.
Distance from Paris to New York is infinite.
You don't listen at all. You can go anywhere on your internet, right? Right? You can go anywhere on that computer. How big is that computer? Huh,
yeah, and that's your logical argument that, okay, yeah, sure, fine. Define things your way. Have infinite distances because you don't want to accept the globe. Fucking moron.
Hell no. Oh, you're a fucking moron. You think water is on a fucking spinning ball. You think physics supports control.
Well, because physics supports it.
No. It's just
as simple as that.
Physics of water doesn't support the water laterally, does it?
You don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Yes, he does. He tried to point it out to you.
No, he doesn't, you fucking moron.
Hey, Lauri,
said you didn't know about it.
Lauri, have you ever used the water level?
Sure, I have.
Ooh, really?
Earlier. Have you just used it in the bit of time that we were just been talking? Because you hadn't earlier.
By the way, have you used this? Is not even a logical argument. Have you
experienced the tool? Is what I'm asking. That's all.
Oh yeah, and you were not kind of making any kind of logical statement from that. Oh yeah, if he hasn't used water level, then it has to be flat Earth.
He asked a question, Lauri.
I know he
There's
asked
no
a
need
question.
to get triggered by a question.
Oh, yeah.
It's okay. Calm down.
Like,
why did you need?
Lauri,
why did you feel the need to define to me what a question is? I'm studying translation, which has to do with linguistics as well. I know what a question is.
Well, why you get so triggered? You're the one misrepresenting. Go
on. Sorry.
Because you guys are sweeping good solid evidence under the table.
Yeah, don't make a generalization or anything. Don't do that.
If you had confidence, you wouldn't be angry. If you knew your model was true, you wouldn't be so angry, and it makes you mad.
That's actually okay. Let's apply that logic to, for example, let's say Rocky Alive or the guy who was here, Brian. Brian is very, very angry. So clearly,
you think
he has to be wrong. Yeah.
You're wrong.
Can I ask the question?
You haven't heard an angry person. Gene, Rakia, Nathan Oakley, Nathan
name dropping. Go on, spot on. Let us hear.
Yeah. So those guys clearly do not know about the shape of the Earth because they get angry.
Lauri.
And Bev got angry with me earlier, so Bev must not know about it either. Bev, you got angry.
You can't let Spot on speak, can you?
Yeah, Bev, I think you got angry.
Can you let Spot on speak?
You don't know about the shape of the Earth.
Lauri.
Yeah. Try.
What about this then? Physics of water, right? So if you're stood at a canal, you know what a canal is?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like it's between locks, so it's just say a mile, for instance, of water between locks. Yeah. And you're stood at one end. We'll call that A. Yeah. And you.
Yeah.
Right. At B, would that be lower than point A,
or if you created a horizontal line, would it be lower one end?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Now hold that. Now walk to the other end at point B. Look back at point A. Would A be lower than point B?
Yeah.
Does that make sense to you?
You saying you could measure a drop from both sides? Like keep doing it and keep measuring a drop?
No, I actually stopped listening. Sorry.
Yeah.
What?
No, you agreed.
He realised he's made the wrong mistake, right?
Here.
You shouldn't have said that because it doesn't logically follow, does it?
No, Bev, if you want to narrative craft around that, you can.
Mm-hmm.
What did you mean to say then? Are you saying that you didn't mean to say that?
No, I actually kind of got lost with the argument because it is 11 o'clock here.
Yeah, fair enough, mate. Yeah. You're a bit tired.
Yeah.
Yep.
Always state at the end, Lauri, before you go, it's a globe or something like that. At the end of every sentence.
Well, I don't need to because I actually
you do because you're fucking up with your argument.
Yeah, good. It's good thing that you dictate to me what I'm going to do and not.
The model, I can do that though. I have the ability to do that. To be able to say what you will say. I know what the mistakes you're going to make because I know that you don't know better enough to not have this argument here.
You're acting like a narcissist, Bev. Like seriously, you are dictating to me what I'm going to say as I'm leaving the room. What kind of narcissist are you? You don't know.
Whatever, Lauri.
Whatever. You know he's wrong.
It's a name calling again.
Yeah, for good reason because he's being an asshole.
You're just acting like a baby again, like you have for years.
Well, you guys sound like babies all the time. You should listen to Rakia. You should listen to Rakia on Gem Pandas.
You feel so intimidated by real men.
I'm not really real men. You are not real men.
Yeah,
it
makes you
real
men. Sometimes.
Oh, I'm a fake man.
Oh, you are.
What you can do, Lauri, is you can go away from here in the safe knowledge that we are not flat earthers, right? You don't worry about being mentally challenged.
Why would I be worried
by
about
flat earthers
anyway,
because
Ben?
we're not, right?
Why
don't go away here
you?
feeling you've been ass whooped by a load of flat earthers because you haven't. We're not flat earthers.
Can I ask
You've
you
not
a
been
question,
ass whooped at all.
Can I ask you a question?
There's been no ass whooping going on around here, Lauri.
I actually agree. There has been no ass whooping from your side. You are correct about that. I whooped your ass.
Like correct. Right.
Well, you still cannot address, like, let's go through your fucking argument relating to the
Lauri,
GPS measurements.
you're going to be up late. You're going to be up late and your teacher's going to be giving you big F or something in your exam or whatever it is you're doing tomorrow.
I know that you fear you are now.
You'll be sleeping in your lecture.
You are. I know you are afraid to go through it. I know you're afraid to go through the argument.
He'll be chucking the board rubber at you. Lauri!
It
would be like that, shouting at you. You'd be asleep.
Rebecca! You don't even know what your name is.
So you won't go through the argument with me. So
Which argument? Which argument, Lauri?
Bring it.
You're stupid, silly. Like the GPS measurements on Lake Pontchartrain.
Yeah. Do you want to? I'll get the video up, right? I'll get the video. Then you can see the video.
You try to. Sorry, you keep interrupting. So, are you confused what case we are talking about? Because I can educate you if you want.
If you think you can, please do.
Yeah.
I'll get the videos for you, and you can walk us through them, right? First off, I'll get the video for
hold on.
All of the measurements that Jesse took when he went over the bridge, right?
Before we do that, Bev.
Sorry, why do you got to interrupt everything all the time?
Yeah, but
I
have limited time. I have limited time, so before we do that, Bev.
You had to go a bit ago. Are you sure you're all right staying?
Sure. So before we do that, Bev, can you go through your argument about the shape of the like you brought at the infinite water level? What was the point with that? The infinite water
it's
level?
The question.
Sure. So what's the relation to the...
A plane can be extended indefinitely in all directions, right? Conceptually. You don't know what...
Indefinitely is not the same as infinite.
Yeah.
Sorry, Larry, I wasn't actually hearing
because every time I try to say it, you fucking talk over me, man.
Yeah,
what
definitely
the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
What is wrong
No, but you
with
actually started talking while I was talking, so I didn't
Shut
hear
the fuck up! I'm trying to tell you, stupid. Plane can be extended indefinitely in all directions, right? That's the concept of the infinite water level. Do you understand?
So are there
infinite
distance? Are there infinite distances?
Do you understand?
Can you answer the question?
He never answers anything clearly.
I understand.
He's been in Jem Panda's server, right? You know they don't answer anything ever.
I understand. Okay,
good.
I understand.
Wow.
Did you get that? I understand.
Roger MC like that. Very.
I do understand.
Yeah.
So are there
I think
infinite
Rumpus said you don't
distances?
At some point.
Bev, can you answer this question or clearly? Are there infinite distances? Are they infinite? For example, if I go one way from, let's say, the coastline of Paris to America, some beach there, is that an infinite distance?
No, that is finite.
Thank
because you have
fucking morons.
2
You're
points.
misunderstanding the
You just made it finite. Dickhead.
You're so stupid, Lauri. You just showed everybody how stupid you are.
Yeah, that was stupid because when you say extend something indefinitely, that doesn't mean infinitely.
It says on the fucking the outline of Bev's fucking demonstration that it's infinite.
It says
infinite.
Of unlimited length. Like there's no cap on the length. There's no limit to somebody giving you a limit. Doesn't say indefinite, does it? Let me check again. Check again. Given any water level of unlimited length. Are you sure is that the one you were thinking of, Lauri? Or did you...
Unlimited, yes.
You might... Okay.
Unlimited means
so that's
infinite,
not,
doesn't it?
No, it doesn't.
Because
it would be infinite, not unlimited. There's a difference because they're different words with different meanings. I thought you did language, aren't you?
Sure.
Yeah. So they are definitely different words, aren't they?
Sure.
Okay. Now, do they mean different things?
Sure, they do mean different things.
Okay.
So what's the point relating to this argument?
Why is that? I just want to make sure. Is that the one that you thought said infinite? The one that you were just having an argument about?
Where did you get this calculation from, Bev?
No, where did you get infinite from? Is it from this question? Did you misread it? Is it because you're getting tired that you misread it?
Do you have a point relating to this, or are you just gonna...
I'm just trying to work out what the fuck you were talking about just before. That's just to get clarified.
Have an argument relating... You don't have
it appears that you didn't have an argument when you were just going fucking triggered before, Lauri. You were shouting and screaming, foaming at the mouth and going all fucking loopy.
Go ahead, Bev. I know you're triggered. So do you have an argument relating to this?
Yeah. Does that say what you said it said when it says unlimited and not infinite?
We're already moving on. So do you have?
We're just leaving that one behind, are we? We're forgetting about that. Never mind. Yeah, go on.
Like, do you want to actually make your point? Are you going to debunk because this is related to the GPS measurements on Lake Port?
Well, I brought the GPS. All of the measurements are there. Can you see?
Sure. So how does this debunk that?
They're all 5.8 meters within the tolerance of the accuracy of the GPS system, which you obviously would know is about 10 centimeters, wouldn't you?
Are you talking about the level?
The GPS measurements. They are the GPS measurements that you are citing, right? You didn't bring them here. I brought them here. They're on the screen, right? I've brought them. These are your GPS measurements, right? That you are using as proof for your model.
Yeah, sure.
Right, so what, did you bring any of them or did I bring them, right? Just first off, I'm the one that brought your measurements here. Now, can you see them?
Where did you post them?
In debate discussion, there is a video of Jesse going over the bridge, the very bridge that you said, GPS measurements.
Bev, can you fucking move this along? This is taking goddamn long. I was asking you for the point.
This was your proof. You were about to wreck me with these numbers. Go. Lauri, I'm showing you. They're there. Off you go.
Like you're just a fucking retard.
Bev, you're being such a stupid moron and a cunt.
Go on. You carry on wrecking me. Go on. Off you go.
I was trying to ask you for a clarification relating to what that your bloody infinite water level or whatever it is.
It's not infinite,
how
unlimited.
Is it debunking?
Still wrong.
Yeah, unlimited.
Yep.
Unlimited.
Yep.
How is it debunking my point?
Now,
and
imagine.
Yeah, Bev.
Imagine.
How does it debunk the GPS
we'll do it again. We'll do it again then. We will do it again, Lauri. Imagine this very bridge that's got all of these numbers on it, the GPS coordinates that you've got. You've got a level point at one end and a level point at the other. You've got a water level, obviously, in between the two.
Fucking moron, we've been over this, you goddamn idiot.
I tried to tell you that there is a cavitation point of water, and on your model that Jesse's give you, a load of numbers, there is a hump of 28.5 meters. Now, I've already told you that the cavitation point of water is much less than that. So it's up to you to wreck me with these numbers and disprove the cavitation point of water, because that's what you'd need to do to be able to get over this bridge. But unfortunately for you, you don't even know what the cavitation point of water is. You don't know what level is. You've never used the level, so you don't understand the geometry involved in it, right? Are you done, or do you want to carry on interrupting me before I've finished? Are you done?
Sure.
Okay, so you don't know anything about this. You've just said GPS wrecks me. Now, I know for a fact somebody's been feeding you that information, and they're going to make you look like a retard.
Because
they aren't brave enough, Lauri. Lauri, they aren't brave enough to come in here themselves. They feed you this information, and now you're the one that's getting recorded doing this. I mean, you're very... I admire you. You're very brave. Thank you for coming in. Now, anytime you want, please go ahead and wreck me with the GPS things that I've brought, the numbers, the measurements, let's say. Okay.
Yeah, so of course, in a free discussion, you wouldn't have ranted that long and had that kind of religious monologue.
This is a free discussion.
What kind of... Oh, of course it's not a free discussion.
Of course it is. You mean at Gems I would have been silenced?
So, where exactly did you debunk the GPS?
Can you address the cavitation?
He didn't even connect. He didn't connect the cavitation to the GPS measurements.
He did, but you don't understand what it is. So
if you try and look for an answer, you will find yourself.
Oh, so that's how it is.
Yep.
You have some mystical answer that no one else.
No.
Right.
No, Lauri. If I were to tell you anything, you wouldn't believe it. I'll say it again.
Of course, because you're a moron.
Right, so why would I risk telling you something that you will automatically dismiss and say it's false.
I wouldn't
go and find the answer for
dismiss
yourself, please, Lauri.
I wouldn't automatically dismiss it. We would actually, as a Globe Earth movement, we would.
I've told you there is a cavitation point of water. That's all you need to do is go and find that out.
You cannot handle the discussion, right?
What, I can't handle the what discussion, Lauri?
You cannot handle the discussion.
You've not got a discussion. You've got no argument, Lauri.
No, Gem.
You've proved it.
No.
Gem Panda.
You
what?
cannot. You say.
Wow,
you
Lauri.
Here.
Who have you got feeding you there?
You stay here.
It's Gem. Have you got Gem there listening in? Feeding you information. Shout out, Gem. Anyone want to say hi, Gem?
You have no arguments.
Hey, Lauri. How are you doing, Lauri?
Oh, John.
Hi there, John.
A long time ago.
Long time ago, yeah. We actually had a good discussion, and I don't want to ruin my good, let's say, rapport with you, John. So I'm gonna tone it down.
That's great. That's great. You are talking both at the same time, so.
Yeah, Lauri tends to do that all the time.
Yeah, it gets heated.
Okay, so anytime you're ready, Lauri, get your GPS out and let's go.
Oh, like the discussion is.
Okay, so you think just saying the word or the letters GPS is how you win a debate? Really?
Sure.
Yeah.
Like it does work.
What do you mean it does work? What does that mean? How does it work?
You don't have any counter to it.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
I'll present it then.
It's level.
Oh. Can you actually provide evidence for that?
What, level being horizontal?
No, you said that it's level. So what are you talking about it's level?
Water.
The shape of the Earth?
The water.
The water, so we're not talking about the shape of the Earth. Okay, so this had actually nothing to do with the shape of the Earth, right?
Obviously not. You can go away and go to sleep.
Yeah,
go to sleep bed. You can still hug your model all night long. Yes.
Yeah, the globe model then stands.
I don't want to. I definitely don't want to take away your model, Lauri. That's the last thing I would want to do.
I don't have a problem. Like I'm not trying to force my model on you. I'm just making a statement that since this, did you say yourself this was not even connected to the shape of the Earth? So you didn't debunk anything.
Yeah, fine. It's fine.
Fine.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Forget you even came here.
I probably should because you guys are such monks that I should probably erase them.
I wouldn't bother coming back here, Lauri.
Relax. Can I ask Lauri? You know about the sea level. Why do we call it sea level? The sea.
Sorry?
Level. The sea. You know, the sea level, you know, it's called level, and you can measure everything from the sea level.
Yeah.
Because it's level. It's horizontal.
Yeah. Level and horizontal are not the same thing.
Yeah, but
they are different. They are different
words.
words.
You have to say that. It's the same thing, but
no, they are.
We have to pick it up.
They are definitely the same. We have a proof. Many.
Well, I use one every day, mate.
Hundreds of logical proofs. We've got many practical proofs.
Yeah.
But all engineer and everything, if you want to do something, bridge or something, they have to think about the sea level and take it from the sea level.
No, they
don't.
Or
measurement from the sea level. And therefore they know how to pick the pillar or something for the bridge, because there's a level. They can measure it from the sea level.
It's just all elevations are measured from sea level, right? As a vertical change above sea level.
Yeah. So
yeah, but you're relying on false premises already.
No. But it's fact. It's fact. If you are building a bridge, you can.
No, that's a fact. Yeah, sure. That's not. I don't contend that in any way whatsoever.
So there we are. Then you might understand. Wow. Okay. What are we doing then? Why do you think the sea will start to a ball, like the level is a curve of a ball? Never. It can't happen. So what are you thinking? What
am I thinking? You're still basing on say
measurement is from the sea level. You're building up.
You're using your words.
They are using
correctly.
They are using measurement from the sea level to get the
elevation.
John, you keep repeating
above sea level.
To be fair, John, you keep repeating the same point that I don't have a contention with that.
It's true. You can look it up.
Yeah, sure. we all know that, John. Yes. That's what elevation is. It's just the measured vertical height above sea level.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, so elevation is distance from water.
Vertical distance from water level. It's what, like at that test we were giving you before. Unlimited, unlimited length.
What else would it be? Horizontal distance from water?
I don't understand. Horizontal distance from the water.
No, I was just making that. Of course, it's vertical.
Brilliant.
Horizontal wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah, all distances are measured horizontally, apart from the vertical distance for elevation. Yeah.
I have to. Sorry, I am interrupting, but I just have to say it so I don't forget it. It's a two. You can make two parallel lines from the sea level. There you got it exactly. If you with two parallel lines from sea level, there you have perfect measurement to go after.
Yeah, that's how you measure a vertical distance, right? Yes, in between
I'm sorry, John,
planes.
But yeah. I'm sorry, John, because you kind of came at an unfortunate time because it's already 11 o'clock here, and I'm really too tired to listen to you. I like you as a person, but I just cannot listen. I have to go to sleep. But I would actually love to. And I think this is a way that we can kind of end this on a not too triggering point. I would love to address because there was a question to me by Bloodsticker on the chat there about how I define what I mean with flat Earth. So I will.
That was right at the beginning.
Yeah. So I will define that for myself, and then I will leave. So what I think about when I say the flat Earth, I don't think about in terms of terrain, because of course we all know that there are mountains, there are plains and hills, and terrain varies. But of course, if you average out the terrain, if it's then like you disregard the terrain, if the average shape is more like a plane, I would call that flat Earth. And I think that's normally how people use it. They don't talk about the terrain, they talk about the overall shape that gets left when you ignore terrain.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's how I would define it.
Yeah, but I was talking about this. All measurement is from sea level. It doesn't matter what is happening in the terrain. Also, every measurement is from the sea level. Just pointing out that, and if you are doing something or making measurement for something, it's always from the sea level. That is standard.
Okay.
Yeah, technically
last
speaking,
one
that
before
would
you
work
go,
on the,
Lauri. Before you
would
go,
work on the globe as well.
Can you see Brad's done he's done your model in there, make you feel at home before you go.
Sure.
Ease you down. See those lines that are running left to right around it? They've got numbers on them, right? You call them parallels, right? Like the 60th parallel and the 30th parallel.
Yep.
You're all right with calling those parallels, are you?
Sure.
Okay, that's it. Thank you.
Was there a point relating to that?
Yes, because you have to use two parallel lines to get the exact measurement and true measurement in distance over flatness.
No, not for that
so
reason.
Can I make a point?
But I mean, like, do you?
Can I make a point?
Right,
can I make a point relating to that? So we're kind of agreement that those are parallel lines, yes? Or are we in agreement with that?
No, I just wanted to confirm with you that you were okay with them being called parallels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Parallel lines, yeah. So are you then okay calling them lines?
I would call them they're like horizontal slices through a thing like a load of slices of bread, right? That's the way you could look at them.
So you wouldn't call them parallel lines then?
They would be parallel slices, wouldn't they? Straight through the ball. There'd be a load
parallel slices, yes,
Yeah.
but not parallel lines, right?
Well, no, they are parallel slices, right? So the
yeah,
line
not
on
lines,
each
not
side
lines.
of the slice would be parallel. Yes.
Yeah, but what kind of line it would be if
There would be
it would
parallel.
be a curving line.
The top of the slice and the bottom of the slice would both be parallel because you'd made parallel horizontal slices through that ball shape. Yes?
Yep.
Yep. So yeah, I'm fine with them being called parallels too, because it's a three-dimensional ball shape model. Yeah, and they are parallel slices. Sorry.
Can I tell you something about parallel lines also in other what can I say example? You can test it on the Google Earth program, the Google map.
Oh, Google.
You can if you go from one point to other point from shore to shore, you have one line, but we have an instrument on Google Earth. They have it. You can put other line, straight line, over this line you have drawn, and you can see if it's equal all the way. Two parallel lines.
Hey John.
And you can see that it's equal all the way because it's flat. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's just a tool. It's very easy then for you to understand what it's about.
It shows the elevation is what I was going to say. It shows the
what
elevation.
I didn't hear. What do you say? What did you say?
It shows an elevation change, doesn't it? Yeah, I'm agreeing with you.
Yes.
And it just shows it as a horizontal line on the bottom of the Google Earth bit, yeah?
Yeah, you can use it. It's funny, they have a tool that's proof flat Earth, and the Google Earth, the land plate they have done, is proof of flat Earth. It is flat Earth map they have done. But they are showing you the globe first, and then you have to zoom in. It's just an illusion. But
yeah, just don't bother looking at Google Maps. You're best off leaving it alone.
But I'm saying there is tool that you can prove it for you, and you can take measurement from point to point, from shore to shore, and you can then use the tool and put a parallel line above and measure it. And the measurement is between these parallel lines is equal all the way. And
yeah, I don't know how I've never done a parallel line thing on Google Earth.
I've done that.
I wouldn't. I'd be surprised if that were actually
many people
there.
have done that. It's excuse me, my language. It's fucking truth. And
the thing is, John, can you hear me? Yeah, I was just all it is just talking about a model, though, aren't you, mate? You know, you're just talking about a bit of software on a computer. I know that what you're saying is, you know, like,
and he's gone.
It shows. Yeah, go on.
You know, we say he's gone. He's not. You're not talking to anyone, John.
I'm not.
Hey, give me a headache.
Yeah,
you're not talking to him.
Okay, so can we now talk about Lauri that was just here, please?
Lauri is.
Yeah, Lauri's gone.
Lauri's gone. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't see that because I'm not on the computer now. I was out in my garden, so I was on my cell phone.
Yep.
Yeah, no worries.
Mobile phone.
So, anyone, any take on what we just had? I mean, he did as bad as everyone normally does, but their perceived ignorance, I don't know what to call it. What is it? Arrogance? That they perceive that the people they're talking to are of such low intelligence that anything they must say is wrong. Or is it that their belief in the model is that strong that anybody that ever challenges the model, no matter what way it is, even if it's a perceived imagining of a threat to their model, they will defend it?
I believe it's a feeling of losing, like they have a feel of they are losing everything they thought they was knowing.
You weren't really here, John, to
maybe
hear
not true. So
what he just did.
They have looser thoughts, looser feelings, and therefore they are.
But you didn't even hear most of what Lauri was saying, John.
Yeah, and I missed the first bit, so I only caught sort of midway, I think.
Yeah, you caught most of it though, right? What was your idea of it, Spotton? What was he?
Oh, well, what's interesting is just the way that he perceived the whole thing, you know, the whole conversation. Or he seemed to think it was some sort of, he was just trying to win things all the time. In his mind, he was like, which is, you know, like when you're defending something, I suppose that's what you look at it like, you know, like it's, whereas, you know, just to have a conversation about, you know, the things that we talk about in here, you know, I can't see why people just can't do that.
I was struggling because at the point he asked for something, for me to give him something, as soon as I did, he told me it was wrong or interrupted or didn't want to hear it, or, you know, he was always putting something off and not actually wanting to know. I think what they do is they like to have the idea that they're never told anything. So the moment they do start being told something when they asked for it, they fry and they melt. They have to stop being told it so they can't hear it.
Yeah, and especially if you ask them something that they don't know.
Yeah.
As well, isn't it? It's like, and you know, if they don't know it, then they're like, the defenses go up again, don't they? They're like, whether it's a cognitive thing where they can't actually understand what someone's saying, you know, they can use tiredness or, you know, excuses. You know, we're all, sometimes it takes 1 or 2 times for me, you know, sometimes 3 times to go over something, but to not listen listen and get it, and not want to. It's pretty obvious.
Could I say something about
some
it?
People don't want to get it.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, man.
Well, first of all, I apologize if I cut in too much, but it's frustrating because it's like you were trying to go through it step by step. Of course, you kept cutting in. He's used to that. That's how he was trained.
Yeah.
Just to cut in every time. But then when you get to the point and he said he didn't understand it or he didn't know enough about it, then he gets even mad and he obfuscates and starts talking about, calling you flat earther and all that stuff. But it was just, I think you're right. I think they don't want, they can't let you get to the conclusion.
Yeah,
they don't want to know about it.
He wanted to hear about the water level, but then he said, "Why are you talking about that again?" And then he said, "Talk about the water level again. Why are you talking about that?"
His understanding of logic is horrible. Like, I thought I was struggling with logic. His method of logic is so skewed. It's no wonder he can't. It's no wonder he just goes to ad hom.
Yeah, any of them, right?
Right.
If anybody's listening to this and they're not, from another place at another time, this isn't peculiar to just, people like Lauri. This is the same for everyone. It's a perceived not understanding and not having that. I don't know. Is it like a child? Like being childlike is one of the things that I find was more freeing once you lose the model and realize how little you actually know. It's like being a child again. You can look at things afresh with new eyes.
That's what I was saying. They are feeling like they are a loser, so therefore they are fighting.
His biggest problem was his pride, the ego. It's just like what I was trying to point out. When you don't know something, you go to university to learn something you don't know. You were trying to show him something that he said he didn't know about, and he totally triggered off the scale. His pride wouldn't let him.
Yeah, you're right on. Yes.
His pride wouldn't let him accept anything that you were going to say, because he was not about to learn something from you.
Yeah, he was like, "You're not." I think he said something like that.
He said, "Bev's not my professor." I'm like, I didn't say that. He was trying to tell you something you didn't know about, and you totally derailed everything.
Yeah, we nearly got a bit about the elevation, right? But he froze at that moment, just after saying that we didn't understand elevation and curvature. So anybody listening, again, just get your arguments ready. So, I mean, we've got our argument down packed. It's the Globers that have been, we're just coming at it from reality. That's all we have to do. Explain how reality works. That's it. It's easy.
There is no reality, as they say. The level is curved and everything. So they have no argument. It's a crazy situation. There's nothing real behind it. So it's absurd.
Well, I thought it was epic.
So it's very, very strange that we can talk about it so long time, and nobody wants to hear, and the media, nobody will tell the truth, and we cannot come through the media. Some fucking power that's holding us back, but the truth have to come through everything. It will. I hope it will not take too long time.
Yeah,
before it's
hopefully.
too late, before people get whatsoever, I don't know, crazy or lost it. You know what I mean? It's so unhealthy, everything. Something have to break.
Okay, anybody else, any final words before I end this recording?
Good. That was good.
Yeah. Thanks for watching.
Yeah. Back again. Hopefully we'll get some more people to come in and talk to us. Welcome for anybody to come in and talk. See you soon.
I gotta say, you're totally blowing my mind right now.
You twat. How do we know the Earth is not flat?
We don't. It's flat.
That was that.
Understanding of the world in which you live, then of course the world looks flat. The world looks flat. The world looks flat.
Neil.
Bitch. You twat.
I gotta say, you're totally blowing my mind right now.
That's what I do. 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 What I do.
But I don't have much patience for anyone who denies that this challenge is real. We don't have time for a meeting of the Flat Earth Society. Flat Earth Society.
My friends, these people are so out of touch with science. You don't need to be a scientist to know that the Earth is round.
They must have been founding members of the Flat Earth Society. They would not have believed that the world was round.
Like water. Now you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now water can flow or it can crash.